Hey, everybody. Please tell me that you can hear us because we were having problems with the audio earlier, on this laptop.
I can check.
Please tell me.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's fine? And
Yep.
It sounds fine? Okay.
Sounds normal.
It doesn't sound like it's... All right, that's cool.
Yeah,
that was the weirdest fucking... That's why we were a little late starting, because it wasn't the microphone, it was the speakers on the thing, like I couldn't hear anything. And when I went in there to fix the audio, it was like my speakers weren't there, like in the settings, and then like it wasn't letting me turn the volume up, and then OBS crashed, and I had to restart, blah, blah, blah. So it was like this big fucking issue. Gramthars says Guns N' Roses playing in Daytona tomorrow. Let's all go.
Nah.
No thanks. Is it free? Even if it's free.
Nah.
It wouldn't be free because I still have to pay for gas to like drive over there. Oscar says watch X. I will, I promise. Is it cheaper to rent now? Like I was kind of I want to see it, but I didn't want to like necessarily pay $20 because we didn't see it when it was in the theater because we missed it, and it's streaming. But I think for a while it was $19.99, and I said, well, I want to see it, but because if I'd seen it at the theater, I wouldn't have had to pay because we have, AMC stubs.
Yeah, we got Pookie back there playing with the toys. Whenever the show starts, she's got to be back there playing with the toys.
She's like, well, I'm
She thinks she's on the show. You think you're on the show, huh? They can't see you. Now she picked it up and threw it.
We should have Pookie cam.
Yeah. So put another camera down there to see what Pookie's doing.
Yeah, I should. If I could figure out how to do that, I might do that. Well, it's like not like camera. I don't have like 40,000 things like already connected over here, but if I could figure out how to do that.
Yeah, we need another camera angle from over there. See.
Yeah, because she does funny shit back there all the time.
Yeah, you just guys never see it.
And I wish you could see it because she's back there like rolling around with her big old belly sticking out, like fucking
feet up in the air.
Her little feet up in the air.
Looking at us through the show, her feet's up there, and she's like, she looks like a gummy bear when she's on her back too, because she's just this big body with these little bitty short feet, short legs, look like little chicken drumsticks. They're fucking hilarious. She's like the cat version of a wiener dog. She's like a wiener dog.
She is, kind of.
Yeah, but they say that's her breed, is shaped like that.
Yeah, she's a Manx.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like, they're supposedly like kind of round with like little short limbs. Like, and her front legs are a little bit shorter than her back legs.
Yeah.
But, so it looks real funny when she like walks around because she's got like this little pudgy round body, and then she's got like these little bitty short legs, so she's always like
Tammy says Pookie is the star. She goes, don't you know that you are a Pookie star? Oh yeah. Jenny wrote that song.
One of my favorite things.
Jenny wrote that song.
One of my favorite things is to come up with songs, like classic rock songs that I can sing to her, but like change some of the words to Pookie centric words, and like change some of the stuff to her words. I think she likes it when I sing to her.
Okay.
She doesn't hit me or nothing.
People are still coming in. About half of the regulars are here.
That's good.
We're at 13. We usually have about 30 live regulars
it's
usually.
Friday night.
Yep.
Seems like the storm outside has passed. Holy crap, it was storming like so bad earlier. It was so windy outside that it was like blowing against my... I thought it was a tornado for a second, and I was like, oh shit, we're dead. But it wasn't. Yeah. It's really loud up here, like when it's windy.
Yep. So today we will talk about anything you guys want to talk about. Any kind of unsolved mysteries or paranormal, or if you have any questions or you want to talk about any other cases that we did or anything we did earlier on this week. You already had one guy come on about that show about that Australian dude saying that you got it all wrong. See that one?
Oh, yeah.
You got it
but the thing about it is that I got the shit from like 3 different sources.
Yeah.
And the main source that I used was, I wanted to make sure, I said, I want like an Australian source. So that was kind of the main one I used. And then I used Wikipedia and a couple other ones.
Yeah.
But the thing about that is that, and I wanted to, I said, I want an Australian source that is not necessarily sympathetic to Ned Kelly. So you don't get a lot of the legend kind of stuff. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't pay that much attention to.
He said it's all legend that nobody liked him and he was a criminal. Basically, what it was.
Well,
which,
I kind of
we didn't say that. We basically said that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So I kind of suspect that maybe
he didn't really listen.
Nobody likes a actually motherfucker.
Yeah.
2, I kind of nobody likes that guy. Don't be that person.
Well, actually,
don't do that person. Don't be that person. I said, you know what? I want a shirt that says that. Nobody likes a well, actually, motherfucker. I want one that says that, and I just want one that says, shut the fuck up on it. But those are my 2 dream shirts.
I think he was a regular, but he wanted you to go back and actually fucking lurk at some sources, and I'm thinking to myself, Jenny doesn't have any fucking time to go over that case again. She's on the next case already.
That's what I mean. I've already got.
It's gone. It's only a couple days.
Goddamn! I had to yesterday. I had to read a whole novel and then write a review of it and record a review of it. So I was just kind of look, I don't have time for this bullshit. Okay.
Right,
And the thing about
it's a show.
Yeah, it's a show, and I'm not really all that worried about it. It was a long time ago. I'd be more worried if it was a recent case that was an unsolved murder or something like that. Yeah, I'd try to get shit right. But the thing about Ned Kelly, yeah, he was a criminal and everything like that. But like I said, it was such a long time ago, and anything that happened that long time ago is just going to be, some of it's going to be legend. It's going to be muddled. So it's I'm not really that worried about it.
Like Billy the Kid.
And the thing about it, too, is I feel like the person that commented that, I don't think they really listened to the whole show because I thought we were pretty even-handed on the shit. I mean, I thought, some of the incidents, I was like, well, this is what the cop said, and this is what the Kellys said, and they said 2 completely different things. And we even kind of leaned into the fact that we thought Kelly made up a lot of shit. Yeah. So, like I said, I don't...
okay, a lot of stuff over time gets lost. All right. They pretty much know that John Wilkes Booth assassinated President Abraham Lincoln. But there are some people saying that body that they found wasn't John Wilkes Booth.
I wanted to do a show about that because I was watching an old Unsolved Mysteries, and they went into that, because somebody had a book out where they said, oh, that wasn't really John Wilkes Booth, it was some other dude, and John Wilkes Booth actually, lived a lot longer and then died later. Yeah. And then, he confessed on his deathbed or whatever. And so I was like, well, I don't think that's true necessarily, but it might make an interesting show regardless.
Some people think that the body that they pulled out of that dam, it was like a little tunnel, wasn't it? Or was it a...
No, it was a barn.
It was a barn?
Or no.
I thought he crawled up into something and was killed, and they pulled him out. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But then, evidently, some of them said that the body that they showed wasn't Booth. That it must have been one of Booth's accomplices. It wasn't... He didn't do it alone, I don't believe. He had a team with him.
Yeah.
And it was one of the accomplices, probably. And they just said that was Booth to close the books on the case. And then they probably secretly sent the Pinkertons looking for him, and they never found him. See, if you ever do some shit like that, they want to wrap it up quick. Just look at the JFK shooting. They don't want the public fucking going, hey, you can kill a president and get away with it. They want that shit solved instantly.
Yeah, and, and it makes them look like they're on the ball and shit, too.
Right. They don't like anything random or anything. So, no, if you kill somebody, then they're going to say they got you, even if they didn't.
Yeah, I mean, the more high profile it is, the more likely it is that they're just going to... And I'm not saying that they're just going to, arrest any motherfucker, but they might just, close the case, way where they'll, well, this is one of the people, and we'll just say this person is the only person that did it, blah, blah, blah.
You're right.
So I kind of
He was involved. This is the one that did it.
Yeah.
And then they go, and then they might tell some guys, keep looking for that motherfucker. Keep looking if there are any more of them. Knowing that if they find any more, they'll kill those guys too. They'll never see the light of day.
Yeah, just keep it on the DL. Yeah. Danny Rowling says, show about the Beast of Jersey, Edward Paisnell, or Hauska Cass. That was the other one. I had that written down. Where'd my pen go? Can you, throw me that pen and that piece of paper? I actually, the Beast of Jersey, it's not in this week's poll, but I went back and I made, because I know that you guys, give me good suggestions all the time, and I try to, write them all down and, compile them, but sometimes I lose the shit and, I'm really disorganized. So, yesterday, I went through every single scrap of paper that I have that I write shit down on during the show, and I transferred everything to, one big file. So I have, a big list of topics that I can, rotate out. And there was, way more than I thought. So, and that was the other one that I was trying to remember, because I said, I know somebody, said one about, a castle, and I can't remember which one it was. But I did put the Beast of Jersey in there, because I remembered somebody said something about that. But, yeah, I got, some... I don't remember what I put in the... I think I put in the poll this week, which should have gone up this morning, right? It's Friday. Yeah, So the poll went up this morning. So if you're a patron, you can go on there and vote. But I think I put Bonnie and Clyde in there. I think I put the shark attacks in there. It was some of the ones that people recommended on the show Wednesday night. So I put those in there. And like I said, I put everything that I could remember you guys had suggested I put in like a big, huge, long list. So I put it all in one place. So it's not just on fucking scraps of paper all over my desk like usual. Like I said, I'm so disorganized. I try to keep shit organized, but it's hard because I have like so many things going on at the same time, you know.
I'd like to do a show on the brain. Some of the weird shit about the brain.
Like, well, you're gonna have to narrow it down more than that because that'd be like really hard to like.
They've had these guys. Old Wang mentioned it today. He put up a little video, like 8 minutes long. They had a guy who went to the doctor because his foot stopped working, and he was like in his 50s or 40s, and they did a CAT scan on they did an MRI of his brain, and and 3/4 of his brain were basically gone. It was he just had a thin strip of brain tissue that went around the inside of his skull and had a little bit going down the middle. And it was only 25% of what should have been there.
And the only thing that he noticed was that his foot was kind of fucked up.
Yeah,
I'm not sure how to feel about that.
He had a slightly below average IQ, but lived a normal life. What had happened when he was a little kid, he had that hydrancephaly.
Yeah.
But they treated it real young when he was a baby.
Yeah.
And they thought he was normal. But I guess it was in some ways kind of had caused his brain to grow in a certain way. He had 2 giant empty sockets on either hemisphere of his brain, like the size of an orange, on either side, and it was just filled with fluid. He just had a brain around the outside of his brain case and some going down the middle and a brain stem, part of the brain stem.
But he had like a relatively normal life, though. Yep. I mean, I guess that's kind of inspirational.
And the only explanation is that if the damage happens real early on and it happens slowly, the brain is rewiring itself.
Yeah, it'll adjust
as the shape of the brain is changing. So it reorganized itself in order to get the job done. But as far as anybody knew, he didn't have any complaints. He just started going paralyzed slightly in one of his feet. And
can you imagine having to be the doctor that told that guy that? Yes. By the way, half your brain is gone. Where's
3/4.
Now? 3/4 of your brain.
3/4. It was just.
Do you remember where you put that?
It was just a thin. It's just a thin shell. It was mostly just an empty shell, and
it was hollow like an Easter bunny.
Yeah, and it kind of got me thinking about Stuart Hameroff's quantum soul theory. Stuart Hameroff said some stuff because he's a anesthesiologist and he knows a bunch about the brain, and they're thinking that there's quantum particles and superposition going on, so it's almost like a quantum computer happening at high temperatures, which is, the brain is warm and wet, you know what I mean? Superconductivity that you need for quantum computing has to be done at like fucking near 0 degrees, which is fucking super cold. Not talking about 0 Fahrenheit, like near zero, almost, I think it's like fucking 200 degrees below zero or something, 300 degrees below zero. But there's metamaterials in there, they think, that fucking inside your neurons that might be able to get it done. Photons going down there. Anyway, one of the things that Hameroff noticed, he noticed a bunch of shit about the brain. These little hunting spiders, those little bitty ones, they're kind of like, not even the size of a little pencil eraser. They're about that size, right? These things can see a fly on a fucking leaf far away, 7-8 feet away, and then pre-plant a root to get up above that fly and jump down on it. And if you were to cut that fucking spider open, its brain is smaller than a salt crystal. There's not hardly any neurons there. That brain is doing more than it should be able to do. There's not a computing power there. So Hameroff says there's only one answer to it, is that they're part of that brain's in another dimension. It's quantum particles. It's a quantum computer. In other words, it has a soul. Something that you might well call a soul. Part of that creature is not in this fucking normal dimension. You know what I mean?
Well, he's positing that it's almost kind of like accessing
something else.
Like, well, something else.
The brain is a receiver more than a generator.
Yeah, like a kind of a
conduit,
like a consciousness, like that everybody's brain can can access.
Part of your consciousness is not. Well, no, I think what he's saying is part of it is a field of quantum particles in superposition, all entangled with one another. A soul. He called it the quantum soul theory.
Yeah, I know.
And that's where most of it is. It doesn't really need much. It doesn't need all that much brain tissue to do a lot of stuff, as long as there's time for it to, adapt to what's happening. What's that super chat say?
Thank you, Gadgy3. Sorry I've been AWOL. Been having seizures. Holy shit.
Oh,
I hope
yeah.
you're alright. I'll fire you more. C-Wash. What does that mean? C-Wash soon. Love you guys. We love you too.
Okay.
Also, our friend David is here. Hey, how are you doing? He's probably heading out to B13 later. Let's see. Zach says, I see Tom saw Wang's video too.
Yeah.
He said that.
I said that.
Tammy said, I've heard stories about people getting stabbed or shot through the brain and surviving. Yeah, amazingly people do. You remember that guy, what was his name? Phineas Gage? The guy that had that whole fucking pipe that went through his head?
Blew that damn spike through his head.
Yeah, that whole spike, and it went all the way through his head, and he lived. He turned into an asshole, but his personality changed.
That was a head injury.
Yeah, but that was about it. Thank you very much, John Robertson. Hey guys, I finally managed to catch a live stream again. Just wanted to support the channel with some money. Thank you very much.
Thank you very
I've been
much.
catching up on all your shows. I finally watched Horror Express. It was one of the best movies I've seen. Horror Express is so good.
Which one was that?
That's the one with Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee on the train and the monster and the thing. Yeah. Holy Parish of Doom. You guys ever covered any David? Is it Icke or Icky?
David Icky, I think his name is.
Icky. If that was my last.
David Icke.
I think.
No, we did a show on him.
I don't think we did a show on him, but I think we talked about him when we did a show about
David Icke.
Didn't we do a show about the Illuminati or something like that? Because I remember we talked about him some, but I don't think we did.
He's the
a little
lizard
show.
people guy.
He's the lizard people guy.
Yeah.
Deborah says, "Love the blue hair, Jen. Thank you." Yeah, I just got this wig.
I think that wig looks good on her.
I got 3. I got a blue one, a black one, and a red one because that's kind of all the colors. There. I was gonna get a purple one too, but I was like, well, okay, I can't spend that much money. Come on now. But eventually I'll get, because the same company has all different colors.
Yeah.
I kind of liked the orange one too, although I don't know what it would look like on me.
See, I have a theory about the lizard people fucking theory. I have a theory about the lizard people theory. I don't know that guy too well. I've only seen him as guests on other shows that I'll listen to, and I saw him over the years. He never really interested me that much. Recently, though, when I heard that guy talking, he was talking about... He didn't talk about the lizard people in the same way that he talked about the lizard people before. He was kind of... He was talking about him in the way that it was like an analogy. Okay. That's because he's not saying it's actually.
He was before.
He was. Yeah.
I guess everybody was laughing at him, so he's like, I didn't really mean that.
Yeah.
I meant metaphorically.
Here's my theory.
Lizards.
Here's my theory. Mm-hmm. It could be that he was afraid of getting in trouble by talking about him. Okay. So he thought that if he called them lizard people and presented it in fucking a sci-fi way, kind of like out of They Live, that he could get away with talking about them without getting killed. Because there's another guy named AJ who talks about the same fucking thing but doesn't say they're lizard people. He calls them something else, and they've done everything they could do to get rid of that guy. It didn't work. The guy's on channels and shit now. He's back on Twitter. But, so they were kind of, in a way, talking about the same thing. It's just that that David guy was saying that they were lizard people. But I don't know if it was a euphemism, or if he's trying to conceal what he's saying and camouflaging what he's saying by making it sound sci-fi. And of course, that's a good sales angle. Because some people might be able to know what it is you're talking about, and then other people who are fantasy prone will go right into it and probably send you money. So you can actually get 2 markets at once, which is really kind of what Art Bell did. And I think Art Bell had him on for a lot of times, but I had to go back and dig.
I imagine he
through the Art Bell archive.
That seems like, and the thing about it is that, whether he was crazy or not, or really did actually believe that or not, it's like people still talked about him, and I'm sure like people bought his books and stuff.
Yeah. Recently, he's not crazy. I think he was kind of maybe a crafty businessman in a certain way. He's sometimes talked about things that kind of sounded like that man that had that island with the child and the fucking one who did not take his own life, that one. And he would say things that were like that. And when I first heard that story, AJ was talking about it years before it came out, and I was going, no, that can't be true. So that's a wild story, but that can't be true. He named that fucking island and everything. He says the people that worked there told him. Yep, and that shit came out. Yeah, that was absolutely true. Absolutely. And that he was using that as a honeypot and getting the world's greatest scientists and shit fucking to sign in on this shit and screw these young girls that were taken from Florida here and Ukraine. Some of them girls were from Ukraine. He raised from children. That's like something out of a fucking horror movie. Pretty girls. You could just buy them from Ukraine, and there was some kind of war that was going on. He got them out of there, and he was using it to blackmail fucking rich, powerful men. And if you look at who's rich and real powerful on the global stage, those dudes are fucking nerds, man. Nerds. And they didn't get any attention when they were in high school, so they're trying to relive their high school days or something. I got witnesses right here. They will never relive my high school days. Never. They wish. Ain't that right, Gramthars? They're paying millions of dollars to fucking do what I did in high school. Bitches. Fucking grabbing people's young daughters and shit. They're fucking scum.
Thank you again, Gadgy3.
Thank you, Gadgy.
He says cash, by the way. Oh, okay. So I should have been able to figure that out, but I couldn't.
Oh, okay.
Just mistyped because my head doesn't work.
Right.
Yeah, that's okay. Like I said, I should have been able to figure that out. I don't know why I didn't. I haven't been drinking that much. Jesus Christ.
So it could have been David was talking about those lizard people. But like I said, I don't know the body of his work. I don't really know that guy. He never really interested me. As soon as I heard lizard people and shit, I was like, I don't know. And I would run into his fans online before I ever ran into him or listened to any of his shit, you know. I just heard online that David Icke was with the lizard people. I was like, nah.
I think it's Ike.
Ike? Yeah, David Icke. Maybe.
Although you would think that you would spell it different because it looks like icky.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't have time for that kind of bullshit. I don't have time for that kind of bullshit.
I find it all fascinating.
Like I said, that's why...
I find it all fascinating.
I mean, it's, you know... Like, you used to listen to the Art Bell show and stuff like that, and it's, like, funny in small doses, but after a while, I'm just like, okay, nope, I'm just gonna, like, go fucking do something else. I don't have time for that kind of crap.
I ain't gonna say nothing. I like it. It depends, on what it is.
I didn't say you weren't allowed to like it. I just said I don't.
It just depends on what the subject matter is. You know, I can't listen to all those guests, but in those days, you didn't have a choice. You just had to listen to what was on. You know, and sometimes he'd have good guests, and sometimes he'd have bad guests. Just depended. And some of the fucking crazy guests that are on there were pretty damn good. There was one dude that would fucking, for a while, there was like they were trying to track down a time traveler. The time traveler, I don't think that worked out though. He kept referring back to it.
Well, was that the guy that we did the show about, John Titor?
Yeah, I think that's who it was.
Titor?
Yeah.
Titor?
Yeah.
However you pronounce that dude's last name.
And
yeah, we did a show about that guy.
And I would trip the fuck out with fucking, what's his name? Richard C. Hoagland, I think is what his name is. Was it Richard?
He's the Face on Mars
guy.
The Face
on Mars guys, and the Sidonia and the cities on Mars.
I think we did a show about that too, didn't we?
Yeah. I'm sure he's got new versions of his fucking Martian theories now. He's gonna say, you don't see it on the surface, but it's all subterranean. You know, look here. This is a door that leads down underneath. Yeah.
Because every time like their shit gets busted, then they have to like come up with some new grift.
Yeah, it was a grift, you know, I think, but he also had a good imagination, and I kind of think that he talked himself into believing that. I think he did believe it.
Yeah, some
or
people
was
do.
hoping.
Yeah.
I think he was hoping.
Yeah.
This looks a lot like a landing strip, and here are the but the man, they were saying they were fucking irrigation on Mars going back to the 1800s, fucking Percival Lowell and all those guys. You know what I mean? They thought that the place was inhabited because the mind has a very good ability to pick out patterns and to kind of think you see things there that aren't.
Well, in a lot of ways, that's kind of what the human brain is for.
Right.
It's a pattern-seeking machine. Mm-hmm. Because over the years, that's what natural selection has favored, is finding patterns in things, obviously. But that doesn't mean that the pattern you're perceiving is actually real. Yeah. It's just,
Yeah, and before the internet...
It's just kind of... It's a strength of the brain, but it's also a weakness of the brain, depending on the circumstances.
Before the internet, they could go off on all this stuff, and talk about the shit on Mars and the fucking Star Child skull or whatever, and you couldn't go online and go see what they were talking about. You just had to trust their description of it. So this shit would get built up. You're like, oh man, I bet you that looks badass. You know what I mean? But then in the '90s when fucking Prodigy and the fucking internet and fucking web TV came out, you go, what's he looking at? And you go to see it, and you go, oh yeah, okay, nah, probably not. It's not as impressive as you had built up in your mind. Listen to them talk about it. But the one that did kind of impress me was the fucking Star Child. Talking about, you remember the Star Child skull?
Yeah.
I was going, it's probably bullshit, but I went to go check it out, and I go, oh no, there it is, man. Yeah, that does look like a fucking alien. Had all those teeth in it, it was weird. But it's human, just a mutation.
Yeah, that's all it is. Sadly. Yeah. I think we might have done a show about that too. Like, not on its own, but I think we did a show with that.
Yeah.
Where we talked about it. It's just, I don't know. I guess that's kind of why... When I was younger, I really liked, all that stuff, In Search Of and, all that kind of stuff. But then, when I got older, the more you think about it, the more the stuff is, not as cool or mysterious as it seemed like. Yeah, back then it was. But, when you found out more about it, it wasn't as mysterious or cool. So I kind of feel one, there's a lot of real mysteries in the world that are, weird and shit. But... I don't know. I think that's kind of why I went more into... It's I'm just going to, watch horror movies and, read books and stuff. Because then it's fake, but you can, do whatever you want. This whole reality thing where people are trying to make... They're trying to make shit seem more mysterious or something than it really is. I don't really have a lot of patience for that.
Well, some of it was real, though.
Yeah.
People really did see things. There really were certain UFO... sightings that happened. It's just you're not sure what it was that they saw.
Yeah.
That show also, Art Bell also had stuff, guys that were developing aircraft and, so they did have real stuff on there. They'd have scientists on there, talking about black holes or physics or whatever. So, it wasn't all bullshit. It was a mixture.
Yeah. See, I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I just don't like when they're trying to, take stuff that's cool enough on its own, and then they're trying to make it seem super mysterious or it's something that it's not. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to think of what else was on that show that was pretty awesome back in the day.
Dave was talking about Sleestack. I was gonna say that too. I was
What's
thinking
Sleestack?
Well, the lizard
Star
people.
Child skull?
No, the lizard people.
Oh, the lizard people.
Lizard people. That's the first thing that's my go-to. That's the first thing I think of is the Sleestack, and then the Gorn maybe. But I always think of Sleestacks because I used to love the fucking Sleestacks on Land of the Lost. They were cool. Didn't we say that we rewatched some of the Land of the Lost?
Yeah, I rewatched about fucking maybe 10 episodes.
Because they're on YouTube.
Yeah, they're on YouTube.
I couldn't believe how quick it was that the Sleestacks appeared because I thought it was a while before the Sleestacks showed up.
When you're a kid, it seemed to take forever, but no, it was fucking 3 episodes.
Yeah, it was 2 or 3 episodes in.
And each episode's only about 15 minutes because it was all commercials. You just didn't realize it back when you were a kid. About 15 minutes an episode, about that, 18 minutes. Not much material there.
No, not really.
It moved fast. Very fast. And me and Jenny were fucking, tripping the fuck out. We're going... Because Holly... How old is Holly in there? Probably about 14?
Something like that.
13, 14?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
She just fucking can't put her fucking tongue back in her fucking head. Because all she's doing is fucking getting ready to blow Will.
Yeah,
She's
who's
just
supposed to be her brother.
Who's supposed to be her brother. But no sister talks to her brother like that. This chick is just fucking melting every time she sees him. And what was funny is that in an interview that was just right there, she said that fucking that was the most embarrassing thing about that fucking show, and how she couldn't fucking stop looking at him. she had fucking super hots for him.
Yeah, it was pretty obvious.
It's obvious.
I mean, obviously, I didn't really catch it at the time because I was a little kid, but it's like when you see it now, it's like really obvious. It's really obvious.
She's blushing and being shy and demure and won't leave him alone, and wherever he's going, she's just constantly in animal attraction mode, and he's trying to keep it in check. You can see.
It's like we're trying to do a show here.
Yeah, he's what, 19 or 20? He's trying to keep her fucking under control.
This is getting creepy.
Yeah. Fucking funny.
I did like the Sleestacks though. So my favorite thing about that show was the little pylon things with the they had those like stone tables that had all those like colored light up buttons on it. I used to think that was so fucking cool when I was a kid. Remember that?
Yeah, I like that show.
Yeah, I like that. Dopey was cool too. The little dinosaur. Remember they had those like big ass strawberries that they'd always bring him like on the cart, or maybe that just happened one time. I don't really know. And Chaka. Yeah. Fucking Chaka.
Cam guy saying he liked Art Bell when he had real guests. He wasn't too much into the UFO stuff. I liked all the Art Bell stuff. Some of those guests were just fucking crazy. The dude who had the hole in the back of the fucking house in his backyard that went down to hell, just fucking crazy shit. And Art was fucking a really good host because he treated each guest with honorably and at least gave them the benefit of the doubt. You know, he would sometimes, hold on now. You know, he would sometimes question some shit because it would go way out there. You know, but he was just a good host, real good host. Art was a one of a kind.
Yeah, well, there's a reason why people still listen to that.
Yeah.
Oscar's asking, how to mitigate the negative effects of alcohol. I've been drinking like a motherfucker.
Cocaine.
Lately.
Yeah, it goes back to the
I'm not sure that's a real good answer, Tom. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it probably helps. I'm just saying that it might be like a worse. You're just like replacing one problem for a worse one.
You knew that shit back in the cowboy days. Dudes would start nodding out at the fucking bar and hey, give him fucking Coca-Cola, pep him up, give him a Pepsi, and they had cocaine and that'd wake him back up. And then they'd fucking go down to the fucking dentist and go get some cocaine in a jar and bring it back, and they go pour some of that in your beer. They'd put a whole bunch of that because they didn't snort it. They just drank it.
Cocaine beer. Woohoo! I feel like $1 million.
You go right back there and start drinking again. No.
And then, how did they fucking live? Like, what did they feel like the next day? Or did they just never come down off of it? So it's like they never...
just slept it off. I mean, that was just some of those fucking parties, and I'd be passing out, and they'd give me some fucking bump a couple lines, and you'd be right back to it. Yeah, like, and it sobers you up. It's like it counteracts it.
Yeah.
You can drink.
Now, but like I said, how do you feel the next day, though? I mean, I
don't know. I just fucking slept it off.
That's what I mean. I mean, and it's probably different when you're young. Like when you get our age, it'd probably be like take 4 days to like recover from that shit. Thank you again, Gadgy3.
Thanks,
oh my goodness, have more. I've really missed you guys.
Missed you too, bro.
Aw, we have also missed you.
Yeah, and you know that was up in Boston with that fucking badass crowd, and that was the barbiturates and the fucking There was a bunch of dancer girls that called the barbiturates. They were fucking they were working with a band called Sleep Chamber, and my buddy Rich, he was an ex-army guy. He was goth, but he was 52 when all this was going on. You looked at him. He didn't look 52. He looked like more like about 32. People thought we were brothers. We kind of looked alike. We're about the same size. He was a little more slender, kind of skinny guy. And he ended up blowing his head off in an argument. He used a .38 special revolver, 5-shot snub nose, fucking pulled it out, fucking blew his head off right in front of his girlfriend, fighting over the damn volume of the television set. They were watching Excalibur, and the girl's name was fucking Soleil, and she was this hot kind of octoroon type girl from L.A. and they were all junkies. They were good people, but they got wrapped up in heroin, and they would snort heroin and snort coke and drink fifths of fucking liquor and sleep most of the time, and they're just like vampires. She was only 22, 23. He was about 51, I think, 52. And he was I don't know why he had, he was living the life. I mean, he had a good job and he didn't have any heavy responsibilities. He also was, I think he got VA money too. So, and he was popular, fucking, and had young, beautiful girlfriends. And yeah, of course, drugs were always involved, but that's just the way that scene is. And just moment of weakness. He fucking shot himself in the head, dumbass.
Well, he probably wasn't thinking that much about it.
I'm sure he instantly regretted it. Like, what the fuck
well,
was I thinking?
I mean, he would have instantly regretted it if he actually could have.
Yeah. Because his girlfriend was like fucking hot, man. Really hot. And he didn't, and that's all he ever hooked up with was fucking hotties. And I'm talking on a scale of 1 to 10s, they're like 8s and 9s. And goth girls. And old school, the classic types, with the skirts and the fucking kind of mohawks and faux hawk types, you know what I mean? Death rocker looking type chicks. I don't know why, just bad day. But,
yeah, everybody has one. And the thing about it is that you can't really, like, judge from the outside. Like, sometimes it looks like one person, oh, they had this, that, and the other thing, but you don't know, like, what that person's, like, thought processes are. So, you know what I mean? Like, maybe it doesn't seem that way to them, or maybe they have, like, some other problems that you don't know about or something like that.
That dude was something else, though. He would, I'd show up to his apartment and fucking knock on his door, and the door would never open, and I'd hear his girlfriend go, "Come in," that kind of shit, And I'd open the door and come in, and a cat would greet me. I remember he had a little fucking cat. The cat would run up, and he'd be laying down. I said, "Come on, let's go, get him up out of there. Let's go to the club." And she's like, and he's like, "Rich, wake up, Rich." And he goes, "He's passed out. Wake up, Rich, you worthless." And she's slapping at him. "Come on, what are you doing?" Because he's gonna sleep all night, because he was fucking on heroin. She'd fucking get him up, though, and she'd get him up. And once he started moving, he'd be all right. And then that dude started snorting coke. And then he would go to the fucking club and drink at the club. And then we'd go back to his place, and he'd drink a fifth of fucking vodka. Talking all fucking night. And he'd nod out a little bit, and then he'd fucking snap out. I don't know how his fucking liver and his kidneys could take it.
That's what I'm saying. It's like some people...
He was 50-something years old. He was my age.
I mean, like I said, when you're younger, you can get away with a lot of that kind of stuff. I mean, it'll catch up with you in the end. I didn't really drink that much when I was younger. Like, I didn't actually really start drinking until I was, like, in my late 30s. So I didn't have all that, like, kind of baggage about it. But the thing about it now is, like, I'm almost 50, so it's kind of like... Now, if I go out and drink all night, even if I get some sleep, like the next day I'm going to be like, I don't really get too bad of hangovers if I remember to take aspirin before I go to sleep and drink a whole bunch of water. Yeah. Like if I drink a whole bunch of water, take a couple aspirin and go to sleep, and then sometimes I'll wake up around 3 or 4 in the morning because I have to pee, and then I'll take a couple more aspirin, and then usually... I feel okay the next day. I don't usually have a headache. I don't usually feel too much nausea. Sometimes a little bit, but not too much. I'll get real tired. Like, I'll be really tired, like, the following afternoon, like, nodding off and stuff. But I don't usually get hangovers too bad. Now, if I forget to take aspirin before I go to sleep and drink water, then yeah. And sometimes it helps, too, to kind of eat some sort of greasy-ass food. That's why we usually, like, on the way home, we'll usually stop and get, like a Big Mac or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Because that actually does help.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just a trip time. Poor Rich.
Well, as Oscar said, all it takes is one bad day.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is that, and it happens to a lot of people. You get fucked up and drunk, or you get fucked up and high, or you get really, really mad or something like that. And all it takes is a second
Yeah.
where you're not really thinking straight because you're mad or high or drunk or all three, and you make a really stupid decision that like affects everything for the rest of your life, whether you kill yourself or you kill somebody else or some shit like that. So, you know,
he was fighting with her over the volume of the fucking television, over fucking, she wanted him to turn it down and he was trying to turn it up, and then he got into a big fight, you know, blah blah blah, and you don't know honor, you have no honor, and blah blah blah, you know, this.
You have no honor because you want the TV turned
Well,
on?
it was more than that. I don't know everything.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, I joke, but
yeah, she didn't tell me everything.
Arguments are always about more than the actual thing that they're about.
He ducks off into the walk-in closet for like a second, and then fucking comes back out in his army dress greens fucking top. All right, with a fucking .38 special revolver in his hand. He goes, "I'm fucking sick of you. I'm out of here." Boom, and blew his head off right in front of her. She goes, "No." She called the cops, and the cops came. They picked up his body, took the gun. She stayed in there for a while. Her friends came and got her. They had to move all her shit out of his.
Yeah, I guess so.
But she had to stay there. Fucking blood pool where the body was. She tried to revive him, but a fucking hole went right through his head. Shot right through the fucking top of his dome. 38 special. At point blank.
And like I said, he probably was not thinking about it. He probably wasn't thinking all that.
I'm sick of you. I'm out of here. Boom. Blew his head off.
And like you said,
and I know she didn't kill him. Yeah, she didn't kill him. No way. She wasn't the type.
Camp Guy says they have cocaine eye drops that ophthalmologists use for temporary pain relief when you have a corneal abrasion.
Yeah.
My kid scratched my cornea when he was like 18 months old, and the doctor said it was one of the worst he'd seen.
Yeah.
The eye drops only work for about 15 minutes, so you're in agony the rest of the time. I didn't actually know that they have like cocaine ones.
Yeah, he was in his dress green tops. He was a Spec 4. He was only in one enlistment.
Oscar also says taking aspirin after a night of drinking does extra damage to your liver. Well, that horse has left the barn, I'm gonna say. Yeah. And like I said, I'm not really that worried about it just because I didn't really drink hardly at all when I was a teenager in my 20s. Like I said, so I didn't really start drinking. So it's not like I've been drinking like for 30 years or something like that. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And we don't drink every night, you know?
Well, Shelby's asking us a question.
I listened to your Ed and Lorraine Warren podcast a year or two ago. I was wondering if you guys believe in them and their work, or if you didn't because of the book sales or movies. Yeah, we've done didn't we do like a redux on Ed and Lorraine? I think we've done 2 shows because I think we did one show like a long time ago.
Yeah, that's one of our most popular shows, I think.
And the one that gets the most negative comments, I should note. Yeah, well, although I haven't got any for a long time. Yeah. And then we did another one where we talked about like some of their lesser known cases. Honestly, I kind of feel like they were full of shit, but I don't think that I think Lorraine actually did believe in the stuff. Maybe they both did, but I kind of feel like they were mostly in it like for the grift. Yeah, pretty much.
They were grifted.
I mean, they would turn up at places where they didn't get invited, like Enfield and stuff like that.
Yeah, they were actually involved in some real cases. Enfield being one of them. They weren't invited to that case, and the parapsychologist tried to get him out. Tried to get him out of it, get him out of there. He was not a parapsychologist. He called himself a demonologist, which is you can just pull shit out of your ass if you're a demonologist. Okay, which if you listen to what they're saying about the cases that they're on, they are just making up explanations. They're pulling it out of the ass. You know, using religion as an explanation for everything when there could be other things. What about parapsychology? What about RSPK, recurrent spontaneous psychokinesis? What if it's mentalism? What if it's something in the air? They don't do a proper investigation. They just come in and go, "Yep, demons." Yeah, okay, we'll get the holy water.
I think this is kind of like, what do they call that? A Maslow's hammer situation, where it's like if the only tool you have is a hammer, then every problem looks like a nail. So I kind of feel like because they were demonologists, every single case they showed up at, demons. Yeah. And we know how to solve that problem. Correct. They didn't even try to look for other solutions. Right. I kind of feel like.
And the more sensational the case, the more Ed and Lorraine, more Ed would kick up dust about it and try to get the media involved. All right, and then there was all secondary sales and stuff that they were involved in, and trying to go on talk shows a lot. It's just too many demons around those two. What is the statistical probabilities? Very improbable. I think they were on some real cases.
Yeah, I mean, they did get called into some shit where some genuinely weird shit was going on.
Yeah, but their explanation was demons, no matter what it was.
Yeah.
And
because that was their angle.
Yeah, and some people worked with them or on the same cases, and they said that Ed would do things like, just trying to remember just off the top of my head, they would see something that was a piece of evidence against anything paranormal going on, and he said he'd hide that. Oh, don't worry about that. We got to fight the demons. You know what I mean? He was one of those. He wasn't trying to get down to the truth of it. No. He was just...
I mean, it's just kind of like, look, I don't begrudge people, like, trying to make a living, okay? By selling books or doing lectures or whatever, because they did that.
Yeah, she's got books.
That's what I'm saying.
But they're not. She's not an investigator, though.
Yeah, and I'm not going to, like, people's house who are actually, like, having problems and saying that I know what their problem is and I'm going to solve everything for you and, like, give me some money or whatever. I don't know if they charge, like, the actual people or if they just use their stuff as, like, fodder for later. I'm not really sure.
Best modern investigator I've been able to find was Steve Mera, and I put him in contact with her, and they've done a couple books together. What I like about Steve is that Steve is fair. If he investigates something, he'll give you both sides of what it could or may have been or may not have been, and he talks about what is good evidence and not good evidence. And he leaves it up to you to pick through most probably what is happening here. Now, some of those cases over time, I think, got a little crazy. Like House of Fire and Whispers, that started off as a good case. But I think the center of that case, I think he got so obsessed with that shit is that I think he started to fabricate stuff.
Not Steve Mera,
No, not Steve.
The guy.
The guy who was having that problem. What was his name?
Keith Linder.
Keith Linder. I think Keith Linder over time became so obsessed with that he didn't want the phenomenon to stop, and he wanted it to get stronger and stronger. And if he had to fake shit to get attention, I think he would. But Steve, when he was there, did see some stuff that he wasn't sure how it happened.
He did see some weird shit.
Yeah, he saw some weird shit.
Because me and Steve wrote a book about... Because Keith wrote his own book about what happened to them in the case. The book that I wrote with Steve, that was just about the 3 weeks, however long it was, 2 or 3 weeks that Steve was there.
Yeah.
And what Steve saw. So I wrote it from Steve's point of view because he went to Seattle from England and, like, investigated it and was there for a couple of weeks and then came back later on, like, for another 9 days or something. And he did see some weird shit. So I just wrote about it from that. I'm not, like, taking a stand on whether the shit really happened or not. I'm just saying, like, that's what Steve told me that he saw, and that was, like, all the shit that he, like, all the evidence that he had. I don't know about the rest of the thing. And I haven't read Keith's book either, because Keith wrote his own book, like I said.
Yeah. Yeah, who knows what that's about.
Yeah, I probably should read that, I feel like. Just for my own edification.
Steve had that fucking place wired up with cameras and microphones and had it under control of, like, a central, like, soundboard on a single laptop.
Yeah, he lived there for 2 weeks. Him and the other guy, like, they moved in for 2 weeks.
Some of the weird stuff that he got, and Jenny wrote about it, he has all the evidence still, too. At one certain time, something fell off a wall. I don't remember exactly what it was.
It was like a light fixture.
A light fixture, yeah. It fell.
Kind of thing.
And he knows the exact time that it fell, and when it hit, it made a certain sound signature. When he went up there to try to reproduce that sound signature again, it was the same signature, but the decibelage was wrong.
Yeah.
That's something I've noticed in poltergeist cases that have happened around me, is that when something hits the ground, it doesn't quite sound right.
Like it's heavier than
it should
is.
be. Yeah, like it made more noise than it should have. It's just a weird phenomenon.
Which is why I thought that one particular thing in that case was interesting.
Yeah.
Because he actually measured, because they had, like I said, they had the whole house. He lived there. He moved in with Keith and him and the other guy that was with him, the other parapsychologist. Both of them moved in there and they lived there for like 2 weeks, I think it was.
Yeah.
And they had the whole shit wired up. They had like audio and video and they had everything like all over and motion sensors and all that kind of crap. So when that light fell down in the hallway, like they went up there and they tried everything to make it sound like it would normally sound if it just fell off the wall like by itself. But the sound that it made as recorded by the audio thing, and I've seen the graphs and everything, was like way, way, way louder than anything they could reproduce.
Yeah. And there were several things like that happened, and some weird light phenomena, I think. I don't remember everything that it was, but Steve did say that he thought there was something happening in that house. But later on, the whole Linder thing, he thinks that went sideways afterwards. He thinks that Linder got obsessed with that case, and because he didn't get national attention, he was trying to bring national attention to it and maybe started to fake stuff, which spoils the whole case if you ask me. As soon as somebody starts faking shit, then you go, well, how long have you been faking shit?
Yeah, because then people can like discredit the whole thing.
You can discredit it. But the thing is that the shit that Steve saw, he got a recording. He has recordings of it happening. So that happens sometimes on a case where it's a mixture of real phenomena and then people coming in and faking stuff to try to get more attention. That's happened before.
Well, yeah, and the thing about it was that, I mean, when the shit started happening, I'm not saying I don't believe Keith, because I do, but, like, the shit that happened, he got really interested in it, but like you said, as the time went on, he got obsessed with it. I mean, even before he called Steve and before all this stuff, before he brought in, like, other, like, parapsychologists and stuff, he was, like, he installed cameras all over the house, and he was keeping track of all this, because he got, like, really interested in what was going on.
He went, where's that raccoon?
Yeah, pretty much. Shelby says, I hope I still love horror when I'm old, LOL. Yeah, I mean, you probably will. I don't know how old you are right now, but I mean, I've loved horror since I can remember, so since I was a tiny child. And I'm almost 50 and I still love that shit.
I forgot to mention something happened a couple weeks back. I forgot to mention it on the show.
Yeah, I told you the other day. I was like, you didn't even say like you had some more like fucking paranormal activity.
How long ago was that?
Last week or the week before? Something, right. I don't know. I'm losing track of time.
I was looking for something. I was in the man cave and I was looking for something. I think it might have been a hammer or there was some kind of tool or something I was looking for. And I got this bookshelf with a bunch of stuff on it. And one of the things on it that I had at that time was a stainless steel ring, had a skull that my other girlfriend gave me from I call her my other girlfriend. One of the waitresses up at the not the waitresses, one of the bartenders.
Your backup girlfriend.
My backup girlfriend. It's my biker girlfriend. Okay? She's a biker girl, all right? And if you guys saw her, she's a fucking trip, all right? She gave me a stainless steel ring. I took it. I said, she said, look at that. She gave me all these rings. And I said, I'm going to take that. She goes, are you going to take it? I said, yeah, I'm going to take it. And I took it. And she
stole it?
I just took it. Yeah. I put it on. Then I go, we're married now. And she goes, oh, so you my husband? And I said, yeah. She goes, well, what's your wife going to think? You know, and I was just, she's just go right. It was just, I started to play that whole game.
She's like, you're my husband? I was just like, where's my alimony?
Yeah.
That's what I would have said.
Yeah, then all of a sudden she wants to meet you now because you're related and all this. It's just
because we're related.
You're related now.
Because I'm part of your harem.
Yeah, you're related now. Anyway.
Tom has a harem.
It's like a harem. So then, like, I have that ring, and I had it on top of that bookshelf. It was next to a bunch of AR-15 uppers that I had. I had some stacked on top, 3 AR-15 uppers, and I had a little ring sitting there. And I was looking for a tool, and as my eyes were scanning across it, my eye just touched that ring, and when I looked away, I saw it go and hit the ground. Boom, boom, boom. And then I was like, 1, 2, 3, about 3 seconds later, I went, wait a minute, how'd that happen? And I looked down and the ring was on the ground. And when it moved, it looked like it was weightless, like a leaf blowing away in the wind. That's what it looked like. But it was a stainless steel ring. So When I looked at it, when I looked away, it went. And it's the same thing from Mammoth Mountain. It's just that it's not as common as it used to be. It's always when I'm kind of frustrated or lots of fear or frustration with me that it'll do it. Now,
yeah, I mean, when we had...
Jenny's seen it. We've had guests over here seen it.
When we had the whole thing, where you had, like, the thing with the remote control, flying off the table and stuff like that when Dimitri and Jen were here. Yeah, the reason that happened was because we were trying to buy Mad Max Fury Road.
Rent it.
Like, on paper, we were trying to rent it. Yeah. And it wasn't working. Like, we were having technical difficulties, and Tom was getting pissed off because he really wanted Dimitri and Jen to see this movie.
Yeah.
And... so that I kind of feel like that's probably what. So again, that was like frustration. Yeah. Whenever you get like really, really frustrated or really, really angry.
And when it happens right in front of me, and I kind of don't see it or don't care when it happens. I have to think, and it's afterwards. I'm like, wait a minute. Because it tends to look like wind. Like when that shot glass fell through that same thing. That was, I don't know. I think I told that already.
Yeah.
This is in the old house. I was playing a video game and I was getting all into it. I must have gotten frustrated or something. And that same bookcase that I was talking about, it was next to the video game or the television at that time in the old house. And I saw the curtains move like a wind, but that never happens. But it was like a wind blowing through the house. I was looking at the screen, but I saw those curtains move and I saw a streak go down, straight down, like a streak of white. Straight down, and it got to the bottom shelf, and it went. And I looked, and it was a plastic shot glass that I was using to measure e-liquid to make my own e-liquid, and it was sitting on its base, vibrating, going, and it had fallen through all of the 5 shelves in that bookcase. It didn't come out and go in; it just went straight down. But I wasn't looking directly at it; it just looked like a white streak, and went. And I guess it moved the curtains, I bet. And what was funny is that I saw that happen, and I just went, and it didn't even scare me. I was just like happy. And then I paused it and went over there and went, what? And I was just trying, when I was a kid, that would have scared me so bad I would have jumped out of my fucking skin.
Well, it's an old hat now.
Yeah. And then the fear would have started to fucking snowball, and the effect would have increased. Because I would have seen it as an outside force fucking with me. But it's something in one of the facets of your personality. It's probably that one that, the human mind is almost kind of like a multiplicity of fucking different facets or different personalities talking to you and about you and to each other, and then they kind of come to a consensus and make a decision, and then it comes out of what you consider to be your consciousness. Your brain, so your mind is just this constant conversation. So it's stuff that's happening in your ids and superegos, that's Freudian shit. I think he's full of shit, but it's just outside the conscious realm. And I got one of them in there. It sounds like that Venom thing, you know what I mean? Like, you'd be nothing without me, that kind of shit. It's that kind of shit. All right, I think that's the one that does it. It's also kind of like Jenny's heard it. It says, I'm going to kill you a lot. It says that a lot.
You're always saying that.
Yeah, it's saying it to me.
Yeah. He's always saying that. Like, he's all like in the shower while he's cooking.
Yeah, it's just trying to kill me.
While he's sleeping.
Yeah. And then
I'm used to it by now.
It's kind of like
because I know he's not talking. It's not directed at me.
No,
so
it's talking to me.
Yeah, so I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, it's one of them in there is fucking angry at me, and then but it's also in that Mummy movie, that Mr. Hyde. What's that actor? Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe. Yeah.
Russell Crowe is Mr. Hyde. That's it. As soon as he started talking, I'm like, that's it. That's that thing. That's that thing that's talking to me.
That, or like I said, Jack Torrance walking down the hall to the gold room.
Going, right. Yeah. Right.
I was like, hey, that's you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's that and Venom and Jack Torrance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why he like relates to those movies so hard.
Yeah.
Because it's like, hey, I feel seen.
That's my dark side.
Yeah.
That's the dark side.
All right, got some comments I got to catch up on. Okay, David says, gotta go, V13 tonight. So have fun. We're probably next up. Dude, I'm broke.
Yeah,
and like
we're gonna next week.
Well, we'll either go next week. We got to go to we got to check out the new Memento Mori, but that's not at Mannequins. That's at Barbarella, so that's like a long drive. But we got to go. I got to check out the new Barbarella because we haven't been yet. Danny Rowling says, just saw Cannonball Run. That movie doesn't hold up at all, just saying. We want to rewatch that. I still liked Smokey and the Bandit. Interestingly, when we were seeing Firestarter at the theater, Fathom Events is showing Smokey and the Bandit on the big screen for the movie's 40th anniversary. Yeah. So you have to pay for that because it's Fathom Events.
Smokey and the Bandit 2 is pretty good too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I haven't. So we've been meaning to rewatch like Cannonball Run, but we haven't done it yet. Thank you again, Gadgy3 gave us some more money. Bedtime for me. Love you guys. Love the blue hair too. Aw, thank you so much. Thank you for dropping by this evening. We miss you. We hope you will come back on one of our live streams. We're on all the time, you know. Tammy says, I'm 53 and I love horror and I've always been into it. Yeah, I kind of feel like if it's just something that you're into, like, I feel like it's something that doesn't go away. I mean, it's funny because I kind of feel like my parents weren't like weird about it or anything, but I think they thought that I was going to outgrow it because like when I was a little kid, I was like, ooh, ghost stories, witches, blah, blah, blah. And I was like all into that kind of stuff. And I kind of feel like, well, she'll outgrow it. It's fine. You know what I mean? She's a little weird now, but I never did. You know what I mean? Because I kind of feel like if you're into that shit, you're into that shit. I mean, that's just, I don't know how to be any different, to be honest with you. I just love that shit.
Oh man, Oscar goes, kitty, kitty, kitty. Yeah. He remembers that story.
Yeah, we were gonna do a show about that.
Man, I wish I have that somewhere.
Somebody asked if what do you guys think of the Carla Moran case that inspired the film Entity? I think we should do a show about that because we did actually talk about her case a long time. It might have been episode 1. Because didn't we talk about the case behind the Entity? I kind of feel like it was episode 1 or something like that. And because we talked about The Shining as well. But I would really like to talk about that case. I don't know. I kind of feel like... I'm not sure where I fall on it. Because some of the claims that she makes are pretty out there. Now, the movie, The Entity, I do like that movie. But the end of it is batshit crazy.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really have anything to do with like what really happened. But it's a good movie otherwise, but the end is batshit crazy. But yeah, we should do another show about that. So I wrote it down, Carla Moran, because that's another one that I wanted to do. I wanted to do like, because some people have asked us to do more paranormal shows. I want to do like more episodes of Haunting. I want to do a Carla Moran show. I want to do a show about the Ammons haunting. Which was, remember Zach Baggins, he bought the house. They called that the Demon House too, and that was like a fucking crazy poltergeist case too. Like it was supposed to be demon possession, but I wrote about that in my book too, because that was like a crazy case too. But I want to do one about that. Shelby says, I met old like Ed and Lorraine. 50 isn't old. That was the one thing I felt interesting about them, is how they stood their ground to the end. I couldn't imagine my granny being in that position. Yeah, I mean,
they weren't old when they were doing all that though. Fucking a lot of that time they were in their 40s, 50s, 30s. Ed was up in there living in the house with his wife, and then like his 16-year-old girlfriend was living in with him too. So it's just no. Those people were grifted. They were grifted.
But to an extent, I do think. I mean, I think at least Lorraine. I think they really did believe in demons and shit.
Yeah.
I don't know if Ed did, but I think Lorraine legitimately believed.
I think they believed in demons.
I think they legitimately believed in demons. I think they were very, very religious.
Yeah, I think they believed in demons. But I also believed that Ed knew that he was fucking hoaxing. Or he was exaggerating. He would sensationalize everything. And I think that based on some of the cases that he went on, he probably did see some paranormal stuff. Although his best case would have been Enfield. And Enfield scared cops that went to it. And he didn't come back with any really good stories, though. I think he thought it was bullshit, and he just showed up real quick and then left.
Yeah, from what I heard.
Yeah.
I mean, because like I said, the Enfield case, that took place in England.
Yeah.
And I think that from what I know, I think the Warrens just showed up there because it was a high-profile case, and they're like, we need to get in on this. Just like they turned up at Amityville, even though nobody called them.
Yeah.
But Enfield, they flew over there, they turned up, and somebody, like Guy Lyon Playfair and Morris Gross and them, they were already on the case. And they're like, these Americans turned up one day at the door, and we didn't really know who they were. And they're like, they want to investigate and stuff, and they're like, nah, bro, we got it. And so I don't even think, I mean, they were there for like a day, and then they left. And I don't really know how much they did at the site, because there was already, like I said, a parapsychologist there. The media guy was already there. Like, people were already there, like, handling it. So I kind of feel like so the thing about it is that when they made the movie, it wasn't the first Conjuring, because that was about, who was the first Conjuring? Who was that based on? Shit, now I can't remember. I'll remember in a minute. But the second Conjuring, was the second Conjuring movie based on Enfield? I thought it was. One of them was. And they're making...
Oscar, you know what you're talking about, Oscar. No, the Enfield, no, she was not autistic.
I just feel like they're making it seem like the Warrens were like the only people investigating Enfield, and they absolutely were not.
Yeah.
There was already a team investigating that when they got there. And according to all of them, they're like, look, the Warrens just showed up one day. We didn't really know who they were. They just turned up there uninvited.
Yeah. The Enfield case had lots of fucking RSPK, recurrent spontaneous psychokinesis. The police saw it. Newspaper people saw it. People could just go into the house and fucking watch it. Once that kid would relax around you, things would be thrown, and it's just from impossible. We have the book. I have the book here. Guy Lyon Playfair wrote the damn book on the whole thing. And as soon as I read it, it was like, yeah, that's exactly what we saw at Mammoth. Exactly. The same order of how it went from small to big, how the activity would kind of ebb and flow over the day. That's it. When I was a kid, I could do that. And I'm not autistic.
Yeah, I mean, they did fake some things, but they caught them.
Yeah, and the thing is that faking things a lot of times has to do with priming the pump. The kid is trying to put on this psychic performance for the people. And if the people don't believe it, it's harder to do it. So faking something and getting their confidence up can help the force flow, if that's the way I want to put it. That'd be a good way to put it. The main thing is faith, believing that it will happen. If you believe that and then as soon as you see it happening, you know it's happening, then it becomes easier.
Well, and in your case,
thing is that if you attribute it to an outside
that's what
force,
I was just gonna say.
That makes it even easier. So if you believe it's a ghost or a demon, it starts to actually mimic something like a ghost or a demon.
Even though it's you doing it.
Yeah, even though it's
that's Tom's theory anyway.
Yeah, well,
which sounds legit. I mean,
most people believe that. That's what it is. I know that's what it is.
It makes a lot of sense because, like I said, we had like minor shit happen at the old house, and according to you, I haven't seen anything like really weird at this house, but you had that happen. So.
Oh, but in the kitchen?
Well, no, I mean you had that ring fly around.
Oh yeah, that was
in the new house.
Yeah, that wasn't really weird though. I would think that the remote one was weirder.
It was weird.
Or when it tore.
And because there was like a bunch of people that saw that.
Yeah,
like, we all saw that.
Right. And when nobody else saw it, but when it fucking threw down the fucking statues of the horses and tore the fucking railing off.
Yeah, I just saw the aftermath of that.
Man, it happened in one stroke.
I was at work.
It happened in one. I turned my back and it went boom, and fucking what the fuck? I thought a lightning struck, and I see the fucking horses hitting and the shit. And it pulled down the damn railing off the top of the kitchen cabinets. That one was pretty good. But that was nothing compared to when I was 13. When I was 13, it was even better.
DJ Maniac says, going to see Octavio in a bit.
All right, yeah.
All right, tell him hi for us.
Slap him on the ass for me. See, that was from Tom.
Tom wanted to molest your baby.
Yeah.
Sergeant Deadhead said he liked our background. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Also, does somebody refill off screen? No, Tom usually goes and refills.
Yeah.
He just goes in it because we have like a little. It's not really a bar, but we have like a little mini fridge and a little ice machine, like the next room over, and he goes in there and makes like drinks. Now,
writing what down?
What? Writing it down too. What? No, I'm writing it down that Danny Rowling said the Jackie Hernandez San Pedro haunting. That was another one that I wanted to do a show about that we never did. So thank you for reminding me of that. So that's why I'm writing them down. I'm writing down like people's recommendations so I can put it on my list.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, the first one was about Bathsheba Sherman. That's right. I had forgotten. Like, I actually like the first Conjuring, but I don't love it as much as some people do. Somebody asked a long time, and I can't remember who it was because it was a while back, but somebody asked what we thought the best haunted house or, like, ghost movies were. Best haunted house movies.
Well, best for what? I mean, there's a lot of different kinds of best. For, like, accuracy or of, like,
no, just
realism?
like ones. No, just the movies that you like the best.
Okay.
I mean, that seemed pretty obvious. The best haunted house movies. Well, what you think are the best haunted house movies? I'm gonna say The Haunting from 1963, based on Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. Easily one of my favorite horror movies of all time, and my favorite haunted house movie of all time. Haunting, it's Haunting of Hell House, Legend of Hell House.
Yeah.
Based on the Richard Matheson novel.
Yeah, which one? Legend of Hell? That was the one with Roddy McDowall, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And Pamela Franklin in that.
Yeah, I would say Burnt Offerings.
Burnt Offerings. That's the next one that I was gonna say. Burnt Offerings is fucking great. Yeah. The book is good too. It's a little bit different than the movie, just in the sense that there's more kind of character development at the beginning. But other than that, it's like pretty close to the book. But yeah, Burnt Offerings is great with Oliver Reed and Karen Black. Other haunted house ones. I mean, haunted house movies, that's probably my favorite subgenre of horror. I really, really like haunted house. I never get tired of them. I really, really like them. But, yeah, let's see. What to do? It's The Changeling. It's kind of a haunted house. That's a haunted house movie.
Yeah.
That, I can't think, I know there's new ones that I liked, but I can't, like, think of I can't think of any, like, offhand at the minute. Like, I probably will think of some, like, later, but...
There's Sass. What's up, Sass?
I think she was here earlier.
Okay.
My favorite has always been the original Amityville, and I like the second one as well. The brother and sister fucking is disturbing. You know what? I like the original Amityville, too. I don't like it as much as I did when I was a kid, because it scared the crap out of me, like, the first time I saw it, but it's not as scary now. But I remember the second one also being good. So I've been wanting to rewatch that, but I haven't. Do you know that there are like fucking 19 or 20 Amityville movies nowadays? I don't even think they were made by... They're not like sequels or nothing like that, because Amityville, I mean, the story, it's not copyrighted. So anybody could make an Amityville movie, as long as you don't use anybody's real name or nothing like that. As far as I know, legally, you're on solid ground, right? Like, you can't... I don't think you can use the actual house. Well, the actual house doesn't even look like that anymore anyway, because they changed it so it wouldn't look like that anymore, because they were sick of everybody, like, camping on their lawn and shit. DJ Maniac says The Changeling is more of a haunted attic movie. Yeah. Well, I don't know. The ball comes down the stairs. That qualifies as, like, the whole house being haunted. You know. And let's see. What else?
Oscar says, if you have a voice in your head saying, I'm going to kill you, you need to get it checked out. Why,
well,
man?
Yeah.
Why? Fucking killing people's normal for me. That was my job, you know. So that'd be like
nowadays probably not a good idea.
Yeah, but you know that's just like somebody, I'm gonna make you a taco, you know, or I'm gonna fucking wash your floor. That was just a job to me. But no, there's people have more than one personality. There's kind of like a facet going on in your subconscious, and some of them are stronger than the other ones. You're kind of like a little bit of a multiple. And they're all kind of talking, and the end result is what you would consider to be your conscious. Those decisions that you're making were made in your subconscious long before you're even aware of them. Just that as whatever your personality is like, there's other facets of you in there that are the opposites of all that in there. All right? And the stronger you are, the stronger they are. The more experience and the more fucking the bigger your life is out here, the bigger their life is in there. And there's one in there. It's like fucking Mr. Hyde, and I got to keep that bitch in check. And he doesn't like me, Yeah.
Well, I mean, I have a person inside that doesn't like me too.
Yeah.
It's probably not as mean as your... Well, I don't know. It might be. It might be. But, I try not to, listen to her. Mr. 88 says, The Innocence is great. It is. Yeah, I did a review on that. I think I did that, during my Halloween week that I did. Because I love that movie. I bought it, just specifically so I could do a show about it. So creepy. Shelby says, have you guys ever done a show on The Exorcist? I know you did the second one. I saw that movie at 8 years old, and I've never been the same. You know what? Have we ever done the original Exorcist? We did Exorcist 2, The Heretic. We did Exorcist 3. We did Exorcist Dominion, or whatever the prequel was that they made a few years back. Have we ever done the original?
No, I don't think so.
Ooh, I don't think we have. Okay. The thing about it was that when we first started doing movie reviews on the channel, which was a long time ago, probably 4 or 5 years ago, we initially, or at least I initially, I wanted to do horror that hadn't been covered as much. We talked about The Shining and stuff like that, but I wanted to do movies that were that I really liked, but I didn't really see a lot of other channels talking about. So I kind of feel like for a long time, we very deliberately didn't do a lot of the classics, like The Exorcist or Halloween or anything like that, because I said, well, I feel like everybody has said everything that can be said on those movies, and I don't really know if I could bring anything new to the table. I was kind of more interested in doing stuff that maybe people weren't that weren't maybe as well known, I guess. So we were kind of talking about shit like Logan's Run or Legend of Hell House or something like that, where they were kind of well known in the horror community, but I kind of feel like wider kind of people didn't know, because even people that aren't super into horror have heard of The Exorcist and have heard of Halloween and have heard of those movies. But I kind of feel like the couple next tiers down, which are also really, really awesome, we did one on Life Force and shit like that, and those are ones that don't really get as much love. So I've always tried it. And plus, like I said, I'm not arrogant enough to think that I have some, amazing new insights on movies like The Exorcist or Psycho or something like that everybody has and their mom has, talked about. And I'm not saying I don't love those movies, because I do. But I just don't know if I could, bring any kind of, new perspective to the table that hasn't. I would rather, I don't know, talk about movies that don't get talked about all that much, I guess. But we've done some popular ones as well. I kind of feel like lately we've been trying to do ones that we missed out on. But I still can't believe that we haven't done the original Exorcist. Did we? Now that I'm thinking about it, I think we've done every single other Exorcist movie but that one. Thank you. Yeah, because I remember. Yeah, because we did Exorcist 2: The Heretic not too long ago, because that movie was terrible.
This is the last of that, so I'm probably have to go on to vodka after this.
Okay, well,
drinking your vodka up.
You drinking my vodka? How much? Well, I got lots.
Got a lot of vodka.
I got a lot of vodka, don't I? Because I thought I bought a bottle, and I thought you bought a bottle when you were out the other day. Danny Rolling says, Jenny's wig makes me want one of those blue old school juice barrel jug drinks with the tinfoil lid. Oh my God, I remember those. We used to get those because my mom and dad used to run a daycare, and they would get, because they were cheap, right? So you could get them in bulk, and they would get them for the little kids, all the different fucking flavors with the little fucking foil lids on them.
Deadhead, Sergeant Deadhead's going to some excel at it. Yeah, boy, I don't know what you're talking about. There's no context there. Then Shelby said something about you should. I listened to the audiobook and wanted to pee my pants. What audiobook on what?
Oscar says you guys should do an Exorcist retrospective review. Okay. An X from this year, of course. I swear to God, I'm going to do it. Actually, later, if I remember, I'll write it down. If I remember, I'm going to look how much it costs to, rent it, and I'm going to rent it. Because everybody has told me to, watch it. I'm trying to keep up with new shit. Look, last night on Shudder, I haven't finished watching it yet because it was getting late. Shudder just added the Fangoria 2022 Chainsaw Awards. So they're giving, like, awards for all the best horror movies from, like, last year. So some of them I'd heard of and some of them I hadn't. So I was just kind of like, ooh, I gotta watch this because it'll give me, like, some ideas. Like I need any more movies to, like, add to my fucking list. But, you know, because there's still, like, a few from, like, the last 5-6 years that I haven't seen yet that I need to catch up on. But so I wrote down, like, a few more from there. I don't know. I'm really trying to, like... But, I mean, I did... For tomorrow, like, the review that I did for tomorrow is for The Sadness, and that's, like, one of the newest movies that I've ever done, right? That came out this year. You should probably... I wouldn't mind watching it again. You should probably watch it.
Watch what?
The Sadness.
Yeah, you said it.
It's on Shudder, yeah.
Oh, everybody's telling me to watch shit. They got fucking 2 or 3 people in there saying, oh, he's got to see this, he's got to see that. Yeah.
I still can't believe that you've never seen Dead Alive, because that seems like that would be right up your fucking alley.
What's that about?
It's like, it's kind of like a zombie movie, but it's like, it's pretty much the goriest film ever made. It's funny because it's Peter Jackson, who later on would go on to do Lord of the Rings and all that. But when he first started out, I mean, he did like Bad Taste, and he did like super, super like over the top, like gory movies.
Yeah.
Dead Alive is one of the goriest things, if not the goriest thing I've ever seen, and it's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. Like, the gore gags in it are so funny. It's kind of like... It's like an Evil Dead type situation where it's just kind of like, it's really gory, but it's like so over the top that it's funny. The Sadness is kind of different. Like, it's really, really gory, but it's not supposed to be funny. Like, it's not so over the top that it's funny, you know what I mean? It's just like really, really gory. So, I don't know. I really liked it, but I'm on like a couple of horror groups on Facebook. And I feel like The Sadness is the one that's like the latest kind of controversy, because some people are like, oh, there's so much hype about it, and I watched it and it was just okay, blah, 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 because everybody's saying, oh, it's so mind-blowing. And I'm not coming out and saying it's the goriest thing I've ever seen. It's not. But it's pretty fucking gory. You know what I mean? And it's good. I really liked it. It's kind of like, I mean, it's not super original. It's kind of like, it's not a zombie movie. It's an infection movie. But it's kind of like... The Crazies or 28 Days Later or something like that, where somebody's like a fast-acting virus that makes people act like psychos. It's that kind of thing. But, you know, it's good. It's good. Let me see. Yeah. Get Tom to watch Blair Witch 2, Book of Shadows. You know what?
I didn't like Blair Witch 1.
Well, Blair Witch 2 is completely different, though.
All right.
It's not found footage.
Okay.
The thing about it, maybe this is a controversial opinion, and I haven't seen it in a long time, so don't hate. The first time that I saw Blair Witch 2, I really liked it. And I was actually surprised when I found out later, like, what a shitty reputation it has. Like, everybody talking about, it's the worst fucking... No, nobody said it's the worst thing ever, but a lot of people were like, it gets really, like, negative reviews. And I was like, I remember really liking it. I thought it was, like, pretty clever. And I like that they... You know, the first one's found footage, so they're like, we're just gonna not do found footage, but they kind of made, like, a meta statement about... Can you believe what you see, like, on videotape? And it's, I don't know. I just really like the way they did it. But like I said, I haven't seen it in a long time, so it might suck. But I remember really liking it when I saw it the first time. Interestingly, too, now that I'm talking about Shudder, they also added a documentary yesterday that's called The Found Footage Phenomenon. And even though found footage is not really my favorite subgenre, one, there have been a lot of good ones, and two, the documentary was actually really interesting. And it sort of gave me like a new respect for the genre, I guess, when they had like a lot of directors on there that had made them, and they were kind of like talking about a lot of the challenges like inherent in making them, and I was kind of like, oh yeah, I guess so. So I was, you know, so it kind of gave me like a new respect for the genre, even though, like I said, it's not my favorite. The haunted house ones are my favorite probably, but I'll watch good found footage, although I'm more a fan of like mockumentaries, which is kind of like found footage but slightly different, you know. I like mockumentaries, like Lake Mungo or The Bay or something like that. But there's good found footage movies. And they talked about, like, a bunch of one here as well. Like, they talk about Creep on there, which if you haven't seen that, there's a bunch of movies called that. But look for the one that has Mark Duplass in it. And it's a found footage movie. I think it's from 2016? I can't remember. But somewhere around 2015, something like that. There was a sequel, too, and the sequel is also pretty great. They used to be on Netflix, but I don't know if they're still on there anymore. But they're both good. They're super creepy. Jim says hair looks awesome today. Thank you.
Yeah, I told her that. So that
Yeah, I was happy. I just got these yesterday in the mail. Like I said, I got 3 of these the same style, but different colors. I got a blue one, a red one, and a black one.
She's growing her hair out, so her natural hair will be similar to that.
Well, see, yeah, but the thing about
color,
it,
but...
it's not going to be this color.
Yeah,
it's going to be black. But but the thing about it is that my hair, you know, because the underside was shaved for a long time, and then just because I didn't even like make a conscious decision to grow the shaved part back out, I just got lazy and I didn't cut it. And then I was like, oh, I guess I'm growing it back out. And now it's like too long to cut off again. So then I cut the back part of it like shorter so it would, you know, all be even quicker.
You could get that hair with an undercut though. You could shave the undercut.
Yeah, I could. I don't know. I might. Because I do like having the undercut.
I mean, I can undercut it. All you do is ask me.
I can undercut it too. I've done it my whole life, like pretty much. I mean, I did it before. I did it back in the 90s.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I did it back in the late 80s, actually. So I used to do it like by myself. All you need is a mirror. I can see
harder to do.
It is, but I can do it if I have to. But
I was doing it for years, and you say, "Well, shit, I didn't have to do it all this time. You could have done it."
Well, I did it by myself lots of times. Okay. But yeah, so so the hair now is kind of like at a fucked up point because
it's not long or short.
The long point, the long part is like this long, and then like the underneath is like this long.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to grow the bangs out, and the bangs are like this long.
Yeah.
So it's like 3 different lengths.
Yeah. Her bangs aren't long enough.
So a lot of the times I'll either pull it all back and like just clip all the shit back, or I'll just like put a wig cap on and put a wig over it until it all grows out to one.
Because a part in the middle like that actually looks better on you than wigs, than bangs.
Yeah.
That's what we decided, right?
We decided.
Yeah. It does look good. I think people...
It depends. Well, it depends.
I think it looks better like that than with bangs.
It's hard for me to like get used to because I've had bangs for such a long time that seeing myself without bangs, I'm like, oh my god, look how fucking huge my forehead is. Like it just
makes your face look thinner.
It just makes my forehead look...
No, I don't think so. Well, you guys can. To me, it makes your face look longer. I think it looks good.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Like I said, it depends on a lot of things. It depends on what color the hair is. It depends on the makeup. It depends on a lot of different things.
I think it's more youthful.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see.
In that cut.
Well, like I said, I bought 3 wigs.
Yeah.
This same exact style and length.
Yeah.
Because I did like the longer one that I had before, like the ombre or whatever, that's like black and blue, but it's really long. So it's like I don't mind wearing it sometimes when I'm going out or something, but it's kind of a pain because it goes like all the way down here and it's like a lot of hair. So I was like, well, I want something like that, but shorter and thinner, so it's not so bulky and heavy. So I got 3 of these from the same company. So eventually, I mean, this came out good. So I got a red one and a black one. And when I have more money, they had like a bunch of colors. They had like green and pink and purple, and they had like orange. I like the orange one actually. So it's like they had all kind of like fun colors. And I was like, maybe I'll get like a whole fucking rainbow of the shit. Then I can have like a matching wig for every single outfit that I have. That would be neat. You know. Until my hair grows out. Yeah, Tammy said, that's how I grew my hair long, just out of laziness. Yeah. It's just, I don't know. It's just like so much maintenance. That's what I was saying before. It's like, I just kind of wish, you know, Tom's lucky. Like, he looks good bald. I don't. So it's like, well, I don't think I look good bald. I've never done that. I've never been, like, brave enough.
Remember Loretta Vamps, the Mexican vampire girl?
Yeah.
She's bald.
Yeah.
She's bald. She's doing nothing but wigs.
I can feel that. I understand that. I understand that.
And then when she goes bald, she only goes bald when she dresses as the clown. Because she dresses up as a clown with the big old fucking feet and shit. And she does the evil clown face.
That's cool.
Paints it on her head, and she'll just be bald or put a bozo thing around the side of her. It looks hilarious. And then she'll jump on a fucking Harley and go to the dam. She's making all kinds of money at the... I want to go to the Mexican Goth scene.
It looks pretty awesome.
It looks fucking awesome, yeah.
I mean, at least from Voltaire's
going back to their fucking Aztec roots and shit.
When him and his girlfriend go down there.
Shiboba and the shit down to the fucking the Mayan underworld, the Mexican hell. It's great, man.
Well, like I said, I just love all of that fucking Day of the Dead.
Yeah.
Like visuals and shit like that. I mean, that's so
they so
fucking cool.
They got it.
That's like goth as fuck.
Yeah. They didn't have to. They. What's funny is that they mixed in like industrial and goth and Mexican, traditional Mexican, and it fucking works, man. It works.
Yeah, I love it.
Spooky as shit.
I love that look.
And it's very unique.
I love it.
Very unique, yeah.
But, you know, I just don't think I haven't thought about shaving my fucking head, because I have.
You have to wear wigs all the time.
I would.
Yeah.
I mean, I do have a lot of wigs.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. I don't know how I would feel about it, because I said, well, if I shave my head, then I would pretty much have to wear wigs all the time.
They get hot.
Like every time I go out. And that would be hot. And they're kind of heavy. And depending on... Because that black one, that Danzig wig that you have that I wore the other day,
yeah.
I don't know if that's just like some other size or something like that, but that gave me a head. That shit was tight.
Yeah. I could shave it. I could shave it down to a good short haircut where it's parted off to one side. You have enough hair for that.
Yeah, it's getting to like... Because my
like
hair...
they had those in the 20s.
Yeah.
Like something out of the 20s.
Because the thing about my hair is that...
It would look really butch.
That's okay.
It would look really
I don't mind looking butch. I'm
okay.
like, that's fine.
Right.
I'm not bothered by that.
All right.
But the thing about it is my hair is so fucking thick.
Yeah.
And it's just the crazy thing about it, every time I wash my fucking hair, every time I brush my hair, like a whole bunch of it like comes out. Like I wash my hair and then I have to like take the thing and there's like strands, just big like fucking clumps of it. And it all comes out. And every time like I brush my hair, it all comes out. Like not a shit ton, like I don't have a disease or something like that. But it's like a bunch of it comes out. And yet my hair doesn't get any thinner. It's just this big, bulky, and like when I wash it and I just let it dry, I don't blow dry it or anything. I just kind of let it dry naturally, and it just goes foof, and it's just this big, thick. It's so like, it never does what I want it to do. It's just kind of like this big. I don't even know what the fuck.
Shelby's asking, saying that we should do a show about. You can read it.
You guys should do a show on how you decided to start a podcast and YouTube channel. I'm so fascinated by your hard work.
We just talked about it yesterday.
Well, we can talk about that right now if you want to.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, okay, so what happened was, back in 2016, this is probably why, I don't even really think that I had started, because I had, like,
Boy, thunder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I never even really thought about starting a YouTube channel, because I was like, nobody wants to look at my fucking mug, that's for sure. And so I never really thought about it. And plus I had, like, kind of weird, like, anxiety. Like, I didn't really want to, like, perform in front of, like, anybody. So there was that. But we were at a convention. It wasn't really a convention. It was kind of like, it was at Gods and Monsters, that comic store.
Yeah.
And they were having a big event. This was back in summer of 2016, I think, right? Or sometime, or spring of 2016, something like that.
I don't remember what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was that big thing at Gods and Monsters.
Where
and
we did a show from there?
No. We were there selling books. Remember they had like a horror event back in the background.
Yeah.
And so they had like a bunch of Florida horror writers and comic writers and sci-fi writers, and that's they had like they showed like sci-fi films like that Florida people had made and shit like that. It was really fun.
A bunch of fucking cosplayers and stuff.
Yeah, cosplayers and stuff. It was like a little event that they had. Yeah. So we were at that, and we had a table. And we were selling books. So I had like some books there that I was selling. And we met a horror writer who's also from Florida, Armand Rosamilia. Yeah. And we got to talking to him, and he was like selling them because he's like pretty well known. So he was selling a bunch of books and shit like that. And he was like, he had a podcast network at the time. Like he had a podcast, and he had like, I don't know, 10 or 11 like other podcasts that were on there. They weren't all horror related, but his was, and then they had some other stuff that was all kind of like horror adjacent. And when we were there, we got to talking to him, and he's like, oh, it's like you guys are really funny. Like you got, and like your rapport is like really funny, like with one another. It's like you guys should do a show because that'd be really funny. And it's like you could put it on our network. Yeah. Which, what was it called back then? Project Entertainment Network.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, right?
It was a long time ago. Yeah, this was like back in 2016. And we were like, we never really thought about that. He's like, yeah, it helps like sell your books because people get your name out there and your personality and stuff like that.
Yeah, the market was very different back then.
Yeah.
The situation was very different. Podcasts you could make money on. YouTube was around, but most people didn't really know how to do it at that time. Just a different time.
Yeah, that's true.
This is just how we started. We started on podcasts, on a podcast network, which it was fun. We were getting a lot of fucking downloads off of that, but no interaction. They never contacted us. No one ever talked to us. We got pulled into YouTube. YouTube was instant gratification.
Yeah, because at first we basically just recorded the audio.
Right.
For whatever, because we started out doing...
Because they didn't have streaming.
Not really. I mean, not to any great extent. And, like, I had really shitty equipment, so we wouldn't have been able to stream back then, even if they had it. So there was that. But we just started out doing audio. So I would send him the audio files, like, once a week, and he would put the show up. And then I would just take the audio file, and then I would just do, like, a slideshow, like, for whatever we were talking about. Now, we would usually just start talking about, like, our first couple shows. The first show we did was about The Shining and the Entity. Then we did one about the Satanic Panic. And then we did, like, a lot of paranormal type shows, because that's kind of, like, the books I was writing at the time. And, you know, just shit like that. And it seemed like we got a lot of, you know, kind of feedback for it and shit like that. But as the show went on, we sort of started like expanding, where people were like, oh, you should do movie reviews, and I'm really into horror movies, and you know, so I was like, okay, well, we'll add a movie review. So then we did one episode a week, which we tried to keep down to an hour, because that's kind of what the podcast thing was. It's like, most of the shows were about an hour, so we tried, which is crazy now, because now we go on for like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Like now we go on for 3 hours, and I'm like, oh, it's not long enough. It's just like we go on for like 3, 4, 5, 6 hours.
Yeah, and I see. I'm of the philosophy that it shouldn't go over 3 hours. I actually wouldn't want it to go over 2, but we've had so many people in the comments go, no, I'm at work, and I need you guys to talk to me as long as possible so my work day goes by faster. There's also, we had truckers go, I'm listening to you on this fucking long haul and fucking, long show. So we're helping people kill time.
Yeah.
And, I understand it, because I do the same thing. I listen to podcasts, or not podcasts, but I listen to YouTube shows. I listen to people on Rumble and BitChute. I got creators on all of that. So I understand the scene, because I'm a consumer. And I can go back, I can watch some of our shows and fucking love them. And I'm like, man, I can't believe that's me. I can't believe I said this shit. It is funny, some of the shit.
What's funny? I never go back and listen to them.
I'm going back and listen to some of them, and I was going, that was good on that day.
Because I'm like, holy crap, I don't want to know if I said some dumb shit back there, because I'll just like cringe at myself. Yeah. I still have I have like issues about. I'm not as bad as I used to be, but I absolutely will not go back.
I've gone back and checked them and fucking said that was a bad show, man. Fucking let me go back and see how bad that was, and they were like, oh, it wasn't that bad.
I kind of feel like that's probably what, because a lot of times I don't feel this all the time. And like I said, it's better than it used to be, because we've been doing this for so long, so I don't have like a complex about it like I used to.
Yeah.
But for a long time, we would do the shows, and then even like whether they were recorded or live or whatever, and then like I would go back and go, man, that sucked. That was like so bad.
Yeah.
It's like I fucked this up and I fucked that up, and we went off on all these tangents, and it's like I didn't get into all the stuff, and I didn't talk about like the stuff I wanted to talk about, like the way I wanted to talk about it. I missed this and I missed that, and so I'm always like, you know how it is. So I was always kind of like that. But then like sometimes other people would like message me about it, and they'd be like, man, that show was so awesome and stuff. I'm like, okay, well, maybe it wasn't as bad as I thought, but it's like, I don't know, I'm still like afraid to go back and listen to shit.
Shelby, who asked this question, she's got her own channel. Look, that's her. Look at 20. So she's got
cool
27 subscribers. So you got a new channel, huh, Shelby?
Nice.
Okay,
that's cool.
Actually, no, it's not new. A year ago.
Shelby said, LOL, when I downloaded, I remember looking you guys up, trying to see a face to the voice. Yeah, for a long time, I was kind of like, it was much easier just to record the audio, because, it's like, we didn't have to, like, look good or dress up or nothing like that.
She was back in those days.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Oh, you've been listening for a long time, Shelby.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah.
Because shit, when did we start doing video? I don't even remember.
Video was about 4 or 5 years ago. 5 years?
Something like that. Like I know we started live streaming.
Started 6 years ago.
We started live streaming at around episode 200, because I remember everyone kept asking, "Oh, you should live stream. Oh, you should live stream." And then I said, "Oh, episode 200 is coming up, so let's do live stream for that." And when we did, because I was like freaking out. I was like, oh my God. Because before everything was recorded, and I was like, yeah, if we fucked up, I could fix it. And I was like, oh my God, now we're just going to be like out there and it's going to be live. And it's like, if we fuck up, I can't like do anything about it. And it's like, it was really stressing me out. But when we did show 200 live, I was like, oh, this is funner. Well, because it was better because one, you get like real-time interaction. And you could just kind of like hang and chill, and it was just kind of like fun. And I didn't really have to like edit it afterward, because editing like the shit takes a really long time. Yeah. We still do some recorded stuff. Like you do the movie we do the movie retrospectives. I do like a book review and a couple movie reviews a week that I record and edit. But I don't really like take a lot out. The only shit I take out of my videos or our videos is if I forget somebody's name, or if I have to look something up, or if I'm just sitting there going, I'll take that out. But other than that, I don't really take anything out. Unless I really fuck something up.
James said if we watched the videos from how Tom looks, no one would ever want to watch the show. Get the fuck out. Motherfucker.
Harsh, bro.
Damn. Got a hater. Yeah.
Aw. Mr. 88 says, I have long hair too. It looks like a bunch of hair comes out when you comb it. But it's really only normal hair shedding, like 10 to 30 strands. It just looks like a lot because it's long. I know, but holy shit, my shower drain doesn't want to hear that, because I got to pour a fucking Drano down that shit all the time. Got all the fucking hair coming out. I have thought about shaving my head bald. I was like, it would make wearing wigs a lot easier. But the thing about it, I don't know. This is kind of like the same shit. I don't know. Maybe like a bigger... what's the word I'm looking for? Like a more, egregious example of like, remember when I first shaved my eyebrows off?
Yeah.
And remember like the existential crisis I had because of that?
Yeah.
You were like, what? It's fine. You can just like draw them on. I was like, yeah, but now if I want to just go to the fucking 7-Eleven without putting on all the makeup, which is a pain in the ass, now I have to like draw eyebrows on, or everybody look at me like I'm a fucking alien.
No, they wouldn't. Yeah. Yeah, you can go out without eyebrows and nobody would notice.
Probably not.
No.
I kind of have a weird thing where it's like, I feel like...
When I shave my hair, half the time I shave my eyebrows too. I'll just put a number 1 on. Number 1 fucking guard on the clippers and just fucking go over. That's why them old men got those fucking huge brushy eyebrows. They don't fucking cut their goddamn eyebrows, man. I fucking shave that shit off.
You know what? The other day, I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to grow my eyebrows back. Because I have like some eyebrow templates. Yeah. Like that are supposed to like help you like fucking, pluck them and stuff.
Pluck them.
So,
you pluck chickens.
No, you know what I mean.
Okay.
Like shape your eyebrows. So I was like, maybe I'll grow my eyebrows back. So I let them grow for like 2 or 3 days, and then I was like, no, fuck it. I just shaved them back off.
It's fucking trouble.
I mean, it's a pain in the ass drawing them on, too, but it's more of a pain
to fucking pluck them.
To shape them and pluck them.
Yeah.
Because you have to do that shit like all the time. Because I don't know if you guys know, because you've never probably seen my real eyebrows, but my eyebrows are like Wolfman Jack eyebrows, if you guys are, everybody's old enough to remember that. I have like big fucking black bushy eyebrows. Yeah. Like Brooke Shields in the 70s eyebrows, I'm talking.
They're not that bad.
They are. They're like big. They're big.
They're big, but they're not as big as Brooke Shields.
They're all over the place, and it's just like, ugh. And I just had
I think I was the one that suggested it, but you were going down that path anyway. I mean, my first wife, she never had eyebrows. She had them. She had them, and she said she had them when she was a kid, and then she was just like, "Why have those?" Because everything she does is drawn on anyway. And she wouldn't always draw them on. Like, well, I got to go to the store, and she didn't give a fuck. She'd just go down without eyebrows.
I'm actually proud of myself because I went to Dollar General the other day because I had to get some treats for Pookie or whatever. Yeah. And I said, you know what? It's my day off because I wasn't streaming and I wasn't recording anything, and I don't put makeup on those days because fuck it takes too long. And I was like, but I have to go to Dollar General. I'm like, fuck it. I'm not putting a fucking full face of makeup on just to go to Dollar General down the fucking street. Yeah. So I went there with no makeup on, and I was just kind of like, it was really liberating. And I was like, wow, nobody stared at me, even though I didn't have any eyebrows and looked like an ogre probably.
No, they're not looking at you very closely.
Maybe I don't know. I've always had like this weird. I don't know if it's like body dysmorphia or something like that, but I always like feel like I look like an ogre, or I look like a freak or something like that.
No.
You know what I mean?
No, you look pretty normal.
That's
when
good.
you're decked out, you look great. So, but if you just walk around, you just look normal like everybody else.
Okay.
No, it's in your mind.
Yeah, I know, but it's hard to get over. It's hard to get over. Mr. 88 says, you two have great couple rapport. I guess he says rapport, but I guess he means rapport. Yeah. I will not say Jen's patience is a major factor.
Man, shut the fuck up.
But it might be.
All that shit. Everybody's gonna try.
Oh, it totally.
Everybody's trying to blame.
It totally is. Nobody's blaming you for shit. Look at you getting all defensive.
See, okay.
He's getting all defensive.
Now I'm gonna make another drink.
He's getting all defensive. I am very patient. I am very patient. I mean, but I have my limits too. Just gonna say. Tammy said, yeah, I shed so much hair, I have to clean my vacuum brush out every other day, but still a head full of hair. Yeah, I don't understand. I don't know. Like, sometimes I brush my hair and I'm like, how is there still hair in my head? I don't understand, like, how. And there's so much of it. And like I said, we live in Florida and it's hot and it's just kind of like, I run by something like, ugh, bleh. It's like, there's so much of it. And I was just like, God, I wish I could just fucking shave it. I just feel like if I shaved it all off, then my head would just look like a big fucking giant bowling ball. And I'm just... And there's no going back from it. That's what I'm scared of. Like, the eyebrows, that's not that big a deal. Like, yeah, I can just, like, fucking draw them on, like, with eyeliner or whatever. But if I shave my whole head and then I decide I don't like it, then I'm like, oh, I'm stuck wearing wigs for, like, a really long time until the shit grows back out, you know? It's a whole thing. But I have been, like, thinking about it. Especially because I have so many wigs now that... I don't know. And especially because my hair now, like, looks so stupid because of, like, the cut. Because it's so, like, transitional. And I'm just kind of like, God, I can't get it to do anything good.
It's a serious fucking storm, bro.
It is.
There. If you guys lose us, it's not our connection, it's the storm.
Yeah, it's like, it's not as bad as it was earlier, but I can still hear it.
This is like some shit out of fucking The Fog. John Carpenter's The Fog.
Oh shit! Ghost Pirates are coming.
Ghost Pirates will be here.
Adriana C. Jenny, your skin is awesome. What is your routine? You know what? I don't really have a routine. All I do is, wash my face just with regular ass soap, or whatever like cleanser I get with my Ipsy thing that smells good, like my Ipsy subscription. And then I slap just regular ass cheap Jergens lotion on it.
She's got great skin.
That's all I do.
She's got great skin.
I don't put any special shit on it. It's just regular soap and cheap ass lotion that I got at the dollar store.
She's got the skin. She's got the skin of somebody in her 20s. She's pushing 50.
And I don't know why that is. Like, I don't do anything special to it. I don't
Her mom is fucking close to 70, right? She's like close to 70.
She's 60. Well, she's 18 years older than me.
Yeah. And
so she's 67, 68.
She looks pretty young. She looks like Pizzadora.
Mm-hmm.
Costume Pizzadora and fucking...
And my mom, looks... I mean, she looks way younger than her age. Yeah. She's, like I said, she's probably 67, 68, but she looks way younger than that.
Yeah.
And she got carded at bars and stuff like that into her 40s.
Yeah.
And 50s. So I think a lot of it is probably just like I just got lucky genetically. Yeah. Like in some ways I didn't because
But she won't work out with me.
I also got
She'll work out on her own, but she won't work out with me. Ain't that some shit? I said, come on, Jen, let's go fucking do this lift a little bit.
Why is that weird?
Because it's good to train, you know what I mean? It's good bonding. I've been training, I train with dudes.
But I'm
she's
not.
Like, I don't want. Because she doesn't want me to see her going. I'm not making fun of her.
I'm not that kind of motherfucker. I don't like doing shit in front of other people.
It's ridiculous, people. Because she's got good genetics, man. She's been on this fucking thing right here, man. Her legs are getting fucking nice. All right. But she needs to fucking do some fucking squats and some fucking curls. Even though your arms are coming in, but it's not high enough. It's not high enough impact. You need to come work with me. And then core training. Put you on. See, I'm doing deadlifts and fucking weighted sit-ups right now. Put a 50-pound weight on, do sit-ups. I can only do 15%. And I'm getting some V-taper. It's starting to come in now. I got the chemistry right and everything. Couple months, I'm gonna fucking I'm gonna be at fucking. I'm probably at like 15%, maybe 16% body fat. I'm gonna try to get this shit to sub 15%. I'm gonna get down to like fucking 10, 12. I'm gonna be like male fitness model level. Probably another fucking 6 months. We'll see.
But yeah, I'm just saying, like, I don't...
You need to go on this journey with me, Jen. You're going to go on this journey with me. And Pookie can be with us, too. And then Pookie can watch. Look, see? Look at Pookie.
Pookie's like, I'm not going to work out either.
No, Pookie will never work out. Yeah. Just little drumsticks.
Just leave her alone.
Drumsticks on a fucking little gray wiener dog.
And stop calling
You're a wiener cat. Come here, wiener cat.
But yeah, I'm just saying, I don't do anything. I don't have any, like... special skin stuff or anything. Like every now and then, like I said, I have an Ipsy subscription, which if you don't know is like that little subscription box where I think it's $10 a month or something like that, and they send you like a little bag that has all these like cool like makeup samples in it. So sometimes they'll send like a cool skin cleanser that smells like watermelon, and I'm like, ooh, and I'll use that for a little while. Or sometimes they send like little masks, and I'll use those like maybe once every couple months when I remember that I have them. But most of the time I just wash my face with normal ass soap and put lotion on it. And like I said, the lotion that I like is that cheap ass Jergens. Is it Jergens? I think it's Jergens, like their cherry almond, their original cherry almond. I just really like that, so I get that from Amazon. Like and I just put that on my face.
Jess is asking if you use Botox. No, she doesn't use Botox.
No, I don't use anything.
No, and she always looked like that. She has done a little bit of hormone replacement therapy. And she's done a couple little small cycles of Winstrol and Anavar, but that didn't change her face or her skin tone. Okay, one thing that changed is that her legs recomped a bit, where she got more muscle definition, little smaller calf, ankle areas. Her legs got better, look good, but she won't show them off because I don't know why. I says, babe, put them fucking stockings on. Put that fucking little short dress on. Let's go out and listen. And then she goes, no, yeah. Because show the legs off. You got good legs. But she's used to fucking long skirts and pants and stuff. But she just takes her time to adapt. And then...
Well, I don't think you understand, like, the impact that it has on your entire life when you're a girl and you're, like, through your entire childhood and teenage years... You look like kind of like a chubby, like chunky.
Yeah, you don't really look like that.
But that's what I mean. But because I grew up like that, I still like see myself like that. And I know I don't look like that anymore. But
she'll layer clothes on to hide behind them. And I guess because she thinks she's fat, she gets bigger when she lay. Like no. Take all that off. The less clothes you have, the fucking smaller you look, and the better you look. You're at that point. You've been at that point. Matter of fact, when we 5-6 years ago, when we first started fucking hanging out and dating each other, this is before when we started dating each other, because we knew each other before we.
That was more like 11 years.
So it's more like 11.
You
yeah,
know that, right?
Yeah, so it's about 11 years. Now. 11 years.
Tom has no sense of time.
Yeah, about 11 years now. Yeah, you were already far beyond all that, kind of like chunky girl shit.
Well,
she was a little chunky when I met her. She was married at the time. After she divorced, she fucking got in good shape.
I actually got too skinny.
Yeah,
like
she got
after
real
I
thin.
divorced.
She got real thin. It didn't look that good. She's not really built for that. Her Jenny has a medium frame skeleton. She's supposed to be thick and muscular, with booty and good legs.
I mean, I went down to.
She got too light, right?
Yeah, I went down to like really, really skinny.
Yeah.
I got down to a point where like I was excited because I was like,
right.
Woo! Look, I only weigh 108.
Oh shit! Let me go get.
Wait,
some,
it's reconnecting. I just. Oh, you know what though? It's like the light's still green.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, it says it reconnected. Hopefully we didn't get too much. Like I said, it's storming outside, so hopefully. JS says, I've lost 100 pounds and the body BDD is real. I totally get it. Yeah, it's the thing about it is that. Yeah, I mean, my mom and all of the women on her side of the family, because she has like a bunch of sisters, they're all kind of like built the same as me. We're all pretty short. Like I'm only about 5'3". They're all about 5'3", 5'4", and they're all kind of like thick. They have like short arms, short legs, thick ankles, big thighs. So all of the women are kind of built like that, which, you know, I never really wanted to be built like that, but, you know, you don't ask for your genetics, so there's that. And so I always kind of wanted to, like, look different, and it was always, like, frustrating that I didn't. So I was skinny when I was a kid. Once I hit puberty, I just porked right out. Like, once I was 11 or 12 years old. Like, I went through puberty, like I said, and just, like, started getting heavier and heavier and heavier. And then when I was in my 20s, I got married, and then I started working out, like, playing soccer and stuff like that. So I lost some weight then and looked pretty good for a while. But then, like, as time went on, I started gaining weight again and gaining weight again. But then, like, I got divorced, and then I dropped almost 100 pounds. But I got, like, too thin, and I started having, like, health problems where I kept, like, fainting, and, like, I had to go to the doctor. I had to go to the cardiologist because they thought it, like, was having, like, weird heart murmur.
That's because you lost all
shit.
that weight, though.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, they thought that that's probably what it was. They're like, look, your body...
Remember when...
Because I lost, like, 80, 90 pounds in, like, 5 months, or, like, some really short time period.
Yeah. I didn't recognize her when I saw her.
Yeah. And,
what?
My heart was just kind of like, what the fuck?
Some people didn't even know who she was.
Yeah.
Back at the club, they were like, "You don't know who that is, do you?" Says, no, and that's
because I looked completely different.
And I was just like, I was trying to explain to them who that was. He says, "You remember the guy and the girl?" And they go, "Oh, that's her." And they're like, "Yeah, that's her." She looks totally different.
Yeah, it did look totally different.
Yeah.
So I mean, I've gained some weight back since then. But like I said, I was probably too thin before. I kind of feel like
you were meant on your frame and your skeleton to be about 135 pounds.
That's my ideal weight.
135 pounds muscular. In other words, muscle. Fat, but muscle also. And easy to get.
Because like I said, I went down to 118 and I looked...
Too skinny.
Too skinny. I looked like weird.
Yeah. You have
135 is I kind of feel like that's where I look good. Like I look healthy and I look not fat and you know.
Right. I'd put you at about a 135.
That's usually my goal weight.
A muscular 135 and fucking you'd look great. You're not far from that.
I have no idea what I weigh.
Could get to that. I could get you to that in 3 or 4 months if you train with me. But you have to fucking just. It's so easy. Twice a week. It's so easy. Fun. And you see, I think part of it, the reason why Jenny is scared of it, is because she hears me in there going, but I'm doing like.
I'm not scared of it. I just don't want to do it.
I'm going,
and he won't listen.
I'm going like 220, 15 reps, and like.
Yeah, because his gym is right next to my office. Right. It's right there through that wall.
So I'm at a point where I need a lot of weight to make.
So sometimes I'm in here reading a book and I'll hear, and I'm just like, God damn it,
like the fucking Hulk in there. And but the thing is, is that female routines do not require that much weight. It's a lot less weight, so it's not as hard on you. I think I made a mistake a couple times when I was trying to train you earlier. Is that I started you off on too much weight too soon. I'd work you up to it. Start with kind of light weights, and I can get everything we need for your age and my age to fucking put the body in the right fucking state of being to where you get a lot of return quickly. And in a couple months, we have you totally rebuild in a couple months, 3 4 months, and then 3 weeks into it, you already see a visible difference.
Mr. 88 says, modesty is not an attribute I would have attributed to Jen.
Oh, no, Jen's fucking...
You don't know me that well, then. That might be my defining characteristic.
Yeah. She's self-effacing.
Well, like I said, I grew... You know what? This is how fucked up this is. And I was just thinking about this the other day. I said the way I grew up, and I wasn't even, like, heavy until I was a teenager. But because when I was a kid, I was always real shy and real bookish and stuff like that. So people kind of, like, made fun of me and, like, bullied me a little bit. So there was that. So even to this day, I have a thing where if somebody compliments me, I think they're making fun of me. Because a lot of times when I was in junior high and stuff like that, people were. They were making fun of me.
Yeah, those days have been long gone.
But like I said, that's still, like, it hangs around.
Yeah.
So I'm always kind of like, so I'm one of those people that's just kind of like, you know, I don't know. It's just, and I kind of feel like too, people think that I'm maybe like aloof or like I'm snotty or something like that. And like when you remember like Imani said that to us one time, like she said, I thought you guys were just like too cool to like talk to anybody. It was like, it's not that. I feel like I stay over here in the corner, like, you know, smoking a cigarette. I don't do that anymore. But when I used to, I just stay over here because I feel like nobody wants to talk to me. Yeah. It's like, who the hell wants to, like, I don't want to go and, like, interrupt other people's night or their anything like that. Like, why would they want to talk to me? So it's not snotty. I'm just not.
I understand what Imani's talking about, but I never really saw it that way.
Yeah.
Because once me and Jen started to hang out, we were actually a pretty good team because we kind of had skills that complemented each other because we covered each other's blind spots. I have a fucking, I'm very positive and aggressive with really good sales techniques and really good human engineering skills and the ability to size people
Well,
up.
He's outgoing and like, confident, and I'm not.
Right. And because I was I'm a fighter and literally a fighter, but I'm also a great salesman. And I am a great salesman. I was winning fucking competitions on my sales teams and shit. And I was a good sales manager. I could fucking train other people on how to sell. Because of that, Jenny allowed me to have something to sell, which I liked that. Even though I was retired, but we were friends and fucking we started a little kind of business together, and it was involved in the scene and shit that we liked. So it all kind of came organically. None of this was to a plan. It was day by day, seeing an opportunity, and that's no problem, and this and that, and I never really realized that Jenny lacked confidence.
I'm good at faking it.
Yeah, it was just like afterwards.
You have to learn to fake it.
Yeah, afterwards I was like,
but it is
based
fake.
on things that she was saying. I was like, oh yeah, that would have impressed me years ago before. You know what I mean? Had I seen this from the outside, but it's just because we'd go to like Comic-Con and I'd sell every copy we had. You know, I'd sell them all. Because if I'm talking to you, then I'm not going to let you go away and we're going to talk, and then I'm going to introduce you to Jenny, we're going to hang out. And then I'm going to say, here, why don't you go ahead and why don't you get a signed copy of Jenny's new book? And they go, yeah. Let's take a picture together. And, you know, and sell books that way. I wasn't shoving books down people's throats. It was social. It was talking to people. You know, getting to know people, the customer, you know, finding out what they liked, and then giving them a book, and then saying contact us online. And fucking some of them did. Some of them left reviews and everything, you know. And so it's not inauthentic. You're just doing it from the heart. You know, it just happens. And I think the people who are kind of, I don't want to say sheltered, but people who aren't really ready for like the sales experience, and because, you know, I've been doing direct sales once I got out of the Army. You know, I did direct sales for fucking years. So I loved it. It seems unnatural, I think, from the point of view of another, but to me, it's very natural. It's just natural to sell things to people.
Well, yeah, I mean, people's personalities and proclivities are really different. Yeah. I mean, ever since I was a kid, I don't really like people. Yeah. I don't really like, it's not that I don't like individual people. It's just like being around people is exhausting for me. Having to kind of project kind of like social kind of thing, it's very exhausting for me because I'm very introverted. So, you know, I don't mind like spending time with the people, but it just makes me like really, really tired, and it really, really like stresses me out.
Yeah.
So I don't enjoy it. Honestly, it's like if I could live just like, bye, see you later. If I could live just like writing books and designing games and stuff like that, and people would just buy them without me having to like talk to anybody ever, like in person, I don't mind doing this, but because I'm just, you know, sitting in the office and talking to you guys and stuff like that. But having to go to like conventions and stuff like that, I was glad that he was there, because I'm just kind of like, if it was just me, I would just sit there and be like, I wouldn't even like talk to people, because it's like,
Adriana said something to you.
Jenny, I totally get you. I'm curvy and short, lost and gained weight, and bookish and bullied in high school, and people think I'm aloof all the time. Yeah, you just get to a point where, and it's not that. Like, I'm not snotty. I don't think I'm better than anybody or nothing like that. It's actually the opposite. I actually think, why would that person, like, why would they want to talk to me? Like, why would I go over there and, like, interrupt whatever conversation they're having? Even people I know, like, friends and stuff like that. So it's like, sometimes, this is fucked up, but, like, sometimes we'll go to mannequins or something like that, and Tom will go over and talk to, like, some people that we know, and I'm just like, I'm just gonna stay over here, because it's like, I feel like, why do they want to talk to me? And I can't hear what they're saying anyway, because I'm deaf as shit, but, you know, so there's that as well. But...
So hopefully that answered your question, Shelby. And Sass, you don't have anything to worry. Excuse me, Adriana, you don't have anything to worry about being short and curvy. You got pictures right there. You're cutie pie. Cutie pie.
Well, I kind of feel like, well, the thing about it is that it sucks because, particularly if you're a woman, it's like so much is tied up in what you look like. Like, so much of your value is tied up in what you look like. So I kind of feel like every woman I know, as beautiful as they are, always has... They're like, well, there's this and there's that. They always like are like, there's something wrong with me. They always wish there was something. If their hair's curly, they wish it was straight. If their nose is small, they wish it was big. It's like, or opposite. So it's just kind of like, you're always, I don't know. I just feel like there's this whole cultural thing where.
Look at Pooh, look at Pooh, look at Pooh, look at Pooh.
What's she doing?
She's doing
See, she's doing it again. I wish I had another camera.
She's listening to the fucking thunder outside.
She's going, just like, she's.
Here's the thing about women.
She's laying there like this, like with her little back legs sticking out her little belly, like, what? Huh?
Here's the thing about women, and looks do matter.
That's what I mean.
They do. All right, but they matter on men, too. And I saw it happen with my first wife. I saw it happen with Jen. You take a good-looking girl and she gets implants, all of a sudden she's even more good-looking. The way people treat them, they even treat them even better. People treated me pretty well. I started to get jacked, it's even more so. And you know what? It's the guys. The guys treat you better. And with women and the implants, women treat them better. It's weird. It's like you get more respect from your own gender. But the thing is, the problem with women is, I'm going to tell women in general this, is looks matter. They do. But where women go wrong is that they assume that all men like the same thing or like the same things in the same ways. In other words, you see 100-pound fucking 19-year-old girl and fucking in some fashion ad, and that company is trying to make you think that that's what guys are looking for. Guys might like that, but there's a lot of other things that guys like too. It's not just one flavor. It's Baskin Robbins. It's 51 flavors.
Baskin Robbins is 31 flavors.
31 flavors. Okay.
Sorry, I was a actually motherfucker.
I'm gonna say
there first.
51.
Well, actually, Baskin Robbins is 31 flavors.
I'm gonna say 51.
Or it used to be.
There's even more.
But they might have more flavors.
Here's the fucking thing.
I don't know.
Is that no, they got short and curvy women that just look fucking fantastic, because they were born to look like that, but they also fucking had the right body composition to make that look good. They had the muscle and the fat and the fucking and the fashion and everything all working together. They got some stocky little curvy girls that are just killing it on Instagram. All right. And it's because guys aren't really limited to one type of beauty. Most guys like a variety. You just have to take what it is that you were given and hone that into the best version of what you were given. You know what I mean? Pretty much all of those body styles can be made attractive. Skinny can be made attractive. Like our little friend Sonia, she weighed nothing, like 90 pounds, and she looked great. I couldn't picture her not skinny. But I couldn't picture Jenny weighing being at 90 pounds. She looked terrible. It's the fucking skeleton.
Well, I looked kind of terrible at 118 pounds.
Yeah, I looked terrible. No.
I mean, not terrible, but I looked kind of ill.
Yeah, it was. And she was an ectomorph. You know, she was born to be little and skinny. You know, and some women are just tall. You know, and tall and big with big old feet and shit. You know what I mean? They're just fucking 6'2", big old fucking tall women. And unfortunately, you know, they can't get dates. They're so fucking big. But they look good, you know. Fucking. But that's just a different type, you know. I've heard that really the worst hand a woman could be dealt is to be born above 6 feet tall. They said that's the worst.
Well, I knew I knew a couple girls that I was friends with in high school that were really tall, and yeah, they had a hell of a time.
Yeah, and they're not ugly. It's just that guys run from that because they just don't want to date a taller woman, you know. So, and guys who are 6'2" are dating fucking girls that are fucking 5'6", you know. So, you know, a tall woman is in a bad spot. They even have it worse than short men when it comes to date selection. Poor things.
I kind of feel like they probably do.
I'm short. I'm 5'6", and I fucking.
Tom's never had trouble.
No trouble. No. Matter of fact, a girl who was over 6 feet tall, that would be easy, like taking candy from a baby. Because I know the trouble that she's in. You know what I'm talking about?
It's like, look, I curse my genetics sometimes too, but I don't mind being short. I don't care about being short. That's fine. Would I trade like being the way I am nowadays for being like over 6 feet tall? No way. No way. Like as a woman.
No. Be the worst.
Yeah, I think that would be worse.
Yeah. And what's sad is that they're like big old Bridget Nielsen motherfuckers. They're pretty. They're just fucking tall. They're just so
well, and I think that sadly a lot of dudes are intimidated.
They're like
by
intimidated.
They're intimidated by
They don't want to look short next to her. I look short next to anybody.
He looks short next to me if I wear platform
boots. If you wear the
boots.
platforms, right? Yeah. So I look short.
And I'm like 3 inches shorter than you are. But sometimes I wear platform boots and he doesn't. So then I'll be... Well, I don't usually look taller than you. I just usually look like the same height.
Sometimes we'll wear platforms together, so it just kind of... Nobody notices.
Yeah,
just both
but sometimes I wear platforms and I'm just like the same height as you or maybe an inch taller. But the weird thing about it is like... And I didn't even mean for this to happen, but my first husband was actually like a foot taller than me. And then... Before I started dating you, like the guy I was dating was actually 6'5", so he was like way bigger than me. So, and I was actually like quite skinny at that point because that was like at the point where I was at my lightest, and I'm only 5'3". That dude could carry me around like a backpack. I mean, he was like fucking giant. You know what I mean? So there was something kind of weird about that. I don't know why I ended up like I didn't even like do it on purpose because, like I said, I met that guy online. I didn't know he was 6'5" until I met him in person. So. I just liked him online. That's how that worked out. But so I didn't like mean to pick because I know like some dudes are like, oh, you have to be tall and blah blah blah. That's not true. I ended up with tall dudes, but it was completely accidental. I didn't go out seeking tall dudes. I don't give a shit about dudes' heights or anything like that. It just happened, you know. So there's that.
It's all good, Adriana, man. Don't worry about that shit. Fucking go on. You can go on Instagram, and you can what?
What happened, Poke?
She's calling. You can go on Instagram and you can see famous Instagram girls of about every possible body type that have turned that into success. Now, it doesn't mean you can sit around fucking pork out and fucking, you know what I mean? No. I'm just talking about the skeleton types that are out there. Fucking all of them can be made attractive. And they got girls that are fucking making money on it. Short and thick, tall, skinny, little and skinny, fucking big boobs, no boobs, just fucking everything. Everything can be adapted to become attractive to at least some market of guy. But that's only if you want that. Some women just don't give a shit. Some women are over the hill.
Well, like I said, I think the problem is, and I think I had this problem too, so I can't be the only one. But I think the problem is that, as I said, because women, a lot of their value is tied up in what they look like, I think you kind of have the weird, like, low-key message that because that's what makes you valuable, then you have to be attractive to everyone. And so that really fucks with you over time because it took me a really long time, probably until I was my 20s or 30s, to realize
there's a market.
That there's that's not just like one thing that's attractive to everybody. Yeah. I kind of was approaching it as, well, I don't fit like the standard ideal that's in the media all the time or that guys seem to like. Right. But you have to, it's like a lot more nuanced than that. There's like a lot of different...
Well, read what Gramthars said about when he went to Thailand.
When Gramthars went to Thailand, it makes me laugh that you still refer to yourself in the third person. That makes me laugh every single time.
I went to high school with Gramthars. He's a cop.
All the bar girls were 100 pounds with big boobs and long black hair. And after a while, Gramthars found them boring and common.
Because that becomes generic.
Yeah.
And a lot of the fashion models that are making all this fucking money or whatever, they're generic. That's just like not too hot. If you look at at porn that's fucking directed directly at men, that's not who you're seeing. You're seeing a wide variety. It's all hot, but each look has been kind of weaponized.
And that's what we've been talking about before, is that I think that's where confidence comes in. You just kind of have to like find out what your thing is, like what are your greatest like attributes,
and you weaponize that,
and just like just enhance those. You know what I mean? Because everybody has something good about them. Everybody has like flaws, obviously, even the most perfect person, but you just have to minimize that shit and maximize the best things about you.
Now that's if you're young and you're in the game. Me and Jenny I'm in my 50s. Jenny's coming into her 50s. We're still in the game, but that's, you know what I mean. We're both been working. We're both in good shape. Fucking, we still have a lot of friends that go to the club. Some people are just not really in the game anymore, and that's just, they're in their own arena, you know. And if you think that it's only women are being judged by their looks, no, men are being judged by their looks too. It's just it's not so much in the forefront, and dudes aren't they're not complaining about it as much. If you're an old man, a short little old man, when people see you, you're a short little old man. That's how they see you. You know what I mean? And you're gonna fall in that. You know, those guys are not desirable for sexual purposes.
Well, not among young women.
Not among young women. So that's
because obviously young women aren't going to go after, they're going to go after somebody their own age.
Right. Well, actually, older women are not interested in those dudes because older people are not really interested in each other.
And that's nothing to do with what they look like. That's just that when
that is what they look like.
But I'm just saying that in general, older people are kind of just not as.
You take that old man and you turn him into something, and then all of a sudden he's interested again. I'm gonna tell you and I've said this before already, so people know I'm not pulling this out of my ass. Up at that biker bar, one of the most interesting couples I ran into was a tattoo artist from out of town here. He was up here for Biker Week. He was about 35. His girlfriend was 72, and she was a hottie. She didn't look like an average 72 though. She looked like a porn star. She was about the size of Kaylee. All right, little, thin. She had big old implants and long white hair with a bunch of braids, and then she had fucking hair pieces in there and buns and shit, and dressed up in her little biker outfit, and she was fucking the sexy 70-year-old that scammed a 30-something-year-old dude. So
she didn't scam him.
Well, don't know. She earned that shit. She was robbing.
Hopefully.
Robbing a crib. She was a little bitty thing. She was cute as shit, and she'd had a couple facelifts, and she was probably on some stuff, probably on HRT, but she was thin and body about like Sonia, but with bigger implants, biker style. All right, and long white hair with braids in it, and some of it was extensions and everything. She looked fucking great, and I said, "Man, she looks like a porn star." He was like, "Yeah, she does," and that was her boyfriend. So it's. People do treat you how you look. 70-something years old looking like that, yeah. that's how.
I mean, people do treat you better if you look better, and it's honestly doesn't even have to do. Yeah, obviously, if you're like naturally attractive or whatever, you're gonna get treated better. Yeah. But people treat you better in general if you look like you put an effort into your appearance more than anything. I mean, if you just look like a bum, then obviously everyone's gonna treat you like that.
Yeah, and it was amusing. You know what I mean? She was cool and feminine and fun and. Looked like something out of damn. You know, she looked like something out of damn Lord of the Rings. You know what I mean, or something. You know what I mean? It didn't look real, but she was.
See, that's rad. See, that's kind of what I wanted. Cool. Like when I get old, like when I get old, lady, I'm gonna grow like I'm gonna have long white hair. I'm gonna look like a witch, but like a sexy witch.
Yeah, and
that's what I'm gonna aspire to.
And he's like 35, 36, and in biker lingo, so I was like, "So is that your old lady?" And she goes, "Yeah, that's my old lady." And I fucking snickered, and I was, she's fucking, she's hot. She goes, "Yeah, she's cute." And she says, "Yeah," and fucking, you know, and we were just broing out over that. Yeah, she looks fucking great.
Broing out over.
We were broing out over. She looks great, but like I said, that didn't come for free. She worked and she did what she had to do, and she did invest in her looks and. She probably was a model at one point, but she looked great. So,
Peter says, I've been with the same woman since 1988, so I'm incapable of relating to the world of attempting to secure a worthwhile partner. Yeah. I mean,
yeah, it's a different world. Different
it is.
Game. You're not in the game.
And then says later, it was my wife's heart that attracted me. I was a drummer in a heavy metal bar bands and accustomed to party girls. My wife, on the other hand, was not from that world. Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like as much as we talk about, yes, appearances do matter. You know, anybody that says otherwise, you know, that's not true. Appearances do matter, but appearances only matter up to a point. You know, you can be the hottest motherfucker in the world, but if I talk to you for 10 minutes and you seem like a douchebag, then you're not going to seem all that attractive anymore. So you really do have to have... Yeah, I mean, it's like somebody that's really attractive might like draw your attention, sure, but you have to have something to back that up. You know, and honestly, sometimes I can't speak for Tom here, but I'm just saying that even somebody that isn't like a fucking showstopper, like walking into the place, like looks wise, if I talk to them for a little while and they seem like super awesome, then they're going to become like a lot more attractive to me. Whereas, like I said, if somebody that's like super, super attractive that is a showstopper, then they walk in, but I talk to them and they're just like a dick, I'm just kind of like, yeah, you'd seem kind of like ugly to me now. So that's the only thing that it's important for. It's just like a first impression is a first impression. You really have to have something to back all that up or it just doesn't work out, you know? At least not long term. Maybe some people can put up with that kind of shit longer than me. I can't. You know what I mean? I can't. Like if there was somebody that I thought was attractive, like at a bar or something like that, if I was single and like I started talking to them and like within 5 minutes they were just kind of like said some fucking bullshit, I'd just be like, bye. You know what I mean? I don't give a shit how hot you are. He's like, you're fucking annoying me, so bye. But yeah, so, wait, I saw a comment earlier, that I wanted to answer. Cespi says, I honestly don't know any woman that's happy with how they look. I don't either. And I know it's like, that's so shitty, and it's like, I don't really know, what is that? And honestly, I'm like that too. Everybody I know is like that. And I know some, like, beautiful, beautiful girls. I know some girls that are like so beautiful that I just like look at them and I'm like, oh my God, I fucking hate how beautiful you are. But they also are just kind of like, oh, this, that's like everybody, every single woman. It's like there's always something, no matter what they look like. And I don't know why that is. It's like really bad. Maybe that's just like a woman thing. We always think something's wrong with us. I don't know. I certainly feel like that. And every woman I know feels like that too. So, I don't know. I don't know what to do about it. I just really don't. I try to not be like that, but it's hard because I've been like that my whole life, and I'm just like really, I don't know how to be a different way. Gramthars says, question for Jenny. Okay. Did you find Tom's volcano level of confidence attractive when you first met him? I guess, well, I don't know. This is like kind of a hard question because I liked that he was outgoing, and I liked that he seemed to have... The first thing I noticed about him before I really knew him, because I met him at iBar a long time ago.
What are you talking about?
You.
Talking about me?
Gramthars at...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're talking about you while you're gone.
What you
Gramthars asked, did you find Tom's volcano level of confidence attractive when you first met him? And I said, that's kind of a complicated question. Because I kind of like, I had seen you before I actually met you. Because I had been coming to iBar for a long time with my ex-husband. And I used to see you, and I used to say, oh, that guy, like, seems cool. Because you were, like, a real good dresser. Like, you had, like, all the cool, like, goth clothes. And I said, you seem to be, like, into all the cool music. Like, you like the same music as me. Like, from what you dance to and stuff. And I was like, oh, and he's a good dancer. And you seem to have a lot of friends. And you seemed very confident. And I thought that was cool. When I met you... I don't know. I liked that, but for a long... You're going to laugh when I say this. For a long time, I thought that you were... Because a lot of your confidence, I guess, is kind of like this over-the-top... So I kind of... It's not entirely serious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so...
Well, I'm joking around.
That's what I mean. Yeah. So a lot of that was just... Because you were just kind of like... Because you would go over the top and just be like completely like, self-aggrandizing.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was pretty obvious that you were just, like, joking, and you didn't really, like, believe that.
No.
So, because I think
halfway.
For a while, yeah. For a while, like, some people that knew, because I've lived here my whole life, but you just moved here, like, a year or two before I met you. So I think at first, like, a lot of people did like you at first, but a lot of people, like, were... put off by that. They thought that you actually like believed all of the bullshit that you said.
I wouldn't have cared.
And they thought you were an asshole.
Yeah.
And I get that. Like I see where they were coming from, but I was like, yeah, but he's not serious though. Like he doesn't actually like believe all this like stupid shit that he says. He's just like being funny.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people maybe didn't get that. But a lot of people did get that because you did have a lot of friends and stuff. So I don't know. I guess in some ways it was, but I think what attracted me to you at first was you seemed like real into, like I liked your style. Like I liked like all the shit that you wore. I liked like the fact that you knew all the shit about the music. Like you seemed really into the scene and you were like a good dancer and like you kind of knew everybody. And I thought that was kind of cool. Like, so... I don't know. So, I don't know. I didn't really know about, like, the confidence thing until, like, later. Like, after I had met you.
That's fine.
But I immediately, like, thought, he's kidding, right? Like, he's kidding. Yeah. And I was pretty sure you were. But some people didn't know that you were. So they thought, oh, my God, what an asshole that guy is.
Where are those people now, though?
That's true.
Probably long gone.
That's true.
Because everybody all my friends from back then are still in the scene. And a lot of people who are not my friends are new to the scene, so the old ones are gone. You know, a lot of them.
I mean, a lot of the people that we know are still around. Yeah, like we still see them like all the time. Yeah. They're all getting old like we are.
Yeah, I have very few enemies, so that's all. I don't.
Yeah,
really
you don't really.
No, I don't have.
You
any
don't
enemies.
really.
No.
You're kind of one of those rare people that I mean, you have a very. On the surface, it would seem that you have, like, a very divisive personality.
It's just on the surface, though.
But, yeah, that's just, like, surface level. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I can't think of a single person nowadays that doesn't like you.
No.
Because you're very good at kind of just...
If they don't like me, then I walk up right up to them and I grab them on the ass. And I start rubbing on the ass like that and polish it and make a shiny spot. And then the sun comes down and it bounces a fucking rainbow off of that ass. That lands on a bunch of shamrocks, which produce a pot of gold. Okay, so if you don't like me, you just get a pot of gold, and then I give the pot of gold.
So it's win-win.
Then I give the pot of gold to them, and then they go away. No, it's just. I was around for a long time, and over time, it was politics. Over time. I knew who was good and who was bad. Okay? With the exception of Mini-Me.
Oh, God.
Mini-Me was good at first. He went bad. So that wasn't so much on
Like
me.
a supervillain.
He went bad like a supervillain. Okay.
But, well, supervillain's giving him too
And
much
when
credit.
he went bad, I warned everybody. So that's...
Oh my god. Hugo says, "Hi everybody, love your wig." Thank you.
Another important thing about it was being in with people that ended up becoming important later on and buying their own clubs. Because you have to understand the difference between real friends and fake friends. Okay? And Big Tom, I knew he was a good man. He offered me a bunch of money and I said no. Because I didn't need it. And my status increased in his eyes. And then later on I said I didn't turn the money down out of spite or anything like that. I turned the money down because we're friends. You know what I mean? And you don't take money from friends. You can't buy me. If I'm going to help you, money's not going to be involved.
And we did help him.
And we did help him. And he owns the club that we go to now.
Mannequins.
A mannequin.
And he's part owner of the new one that him and Scotty are opening.
Right. And he's asked me to be business partners with him, even though I don't really have enough to fucking invest with him. But I would think that I'm almost fucking him if I do that. You know what I mean? Because, and I've told him, I said, look, you need to stop relying on people that you know from the scene and stop relying on, go for professionals. They will help you more than me. People that do this for a living. And he's now doing that. He's gotten rid of all of his old staff, which who he was related to. And he's got new staff that are professional staff.
Well, he didn't fire him. They just moved to another.
They moved to another one
that he had. Yeah.
But that the bar ran better, if you ask me. I mean, his family's good, but he needs to be away from them. He needs to send them out like scouts to open up new territories.
I mean, he's
territories that he has already conquered. He needs to have professional.
He's doing amazingly well with that
very
club. Like way better than I thought. I thought he was going to do good, but like he's doing way better than I thought he was.
Yeah,
going to do.
Big Tom is. I'd say what? There's more than one Tom. There's a bunch of Toms. There's me. There's Tom Cruise and Big Tom. So
that's not a bunch. That's just 3.
It's a bunch of Toms. Okay, so
we're acting like Tom Cruise hangs out with us.
Yeah, some people get confused when I'm talking about Tom. They don't realize I'm talking about Tom Cruise. Sometimes I'll say Tom, I'm talking about Big Tom. Or sometimes I'll say Tom, I'm talking about myself. But I don't think I ever talk to myself in third person, do I?
I don't think so.
The evil ones talk to me and tell me they're going to kill me.
Yeah, but you don't usually.
I never talk to myself.
You don't usually do that.
So, but Tom and fucking Armpit Liquor, who's another friend of ours, and I'm gonna call him Armpit Liquor.
Armpit Liquor and
Scott. He will lick an armpit in a fucking heartbeat. He's got this armpit fetish. Okay.
Wait, Scott does that?
Scott, you didn't know that? Yeah, Scott will try to lick.
I thought you were talking about. About our veterinarian friend.
No.
Oh, he's nipple tweaker.
Yeah, that's nipple tweaker. Scott.
He's never licked my armpit.
You're not a teenager. He's gonna try.
That's true.
He's gonna try to grab a
young.
teenage girl and fucking lick her armpit. He's got this weird fucking thing going on. And I finally got that guy on HRT. He's lost a little bit of weight. He thanked me. He says, "Man, fucking yeah, I'm on fucking T now. I feel a lot better."
One of the best things about Scotty is that he is really, really into my fiction.
Yeah,
he has read all my books and all my short stories, and he remembers all of them. So like he talks to me about them every time I see him. And I'm just like, that's okay.
Scott's a good dude. He's a trip though.
He's a little weird with the teenage, but he's got a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Well, like a fiance, they're engaged, right?
Yeah, I don't think they care.
That's she's his age.
Yeah, that's all open though. I think
it might be. Yeah, I mean, I hope so.
Yeah, in our scene, there's a lot of weird stuff that happens. Okay.
Yeah, we don't pry.
Yeah. And
we're curious, but we don't pry.
Yeah. So, Scott and Tom are taking over downtown Sanford.
Yeah.
They're taking it over. They try to get me to take it, and the cops are involved too. Fucking cops know him. we were looking at this other place where he's building the new fucking
Scotty
high-end
just
bar.
posted pictures of it today.
Yeah,
It looks nice.
And the cops show up. It was fucking funny. You know what I mean?
That's like a high-end martini
like, you gonna let
bar.
us drink here? And fucking Big Tom's like, this is.
They're doing his theme. I don't know if they're still doing this, but like I did a poster for it a while back. The theme they're doing, I don't know if they're still doing this, but they were doing, was that like old school like robber baron, like 20s Gilded Age.
Yeah.
Like Great Gatsby. They were doing that kind of like theme. So it's like a high-end like martini bar.
Yeah, earlier on in the show, a friend of ours said, I'm going to V13. That's where he's going. He's going to Tom's.
He's going to Mannequins.
Going to Mannequins at Tom's place.
David Parker. He's a friend of ours.
Friend of ours.
I've known him for ever.
Yeah.
Shit, man, he helped me move.
Yeah.
I still remember that when I first moved to like my apartment over there on Aloma.
Yeah.
He helped me move.
Mannequins
took me to 7-Eleven, bought me some coffee, and like helped me move, like helped me like load up the truck.
Mannequins has a good Facebook page. It's in downtown Stamford. It's called MANIKINS Mannequins, and it's got sex dolls in the inside of it, and it's like a little fucking.
It's kind of horror themed.
Horror themed fucking club. Jenny did all the graphics on the inside of it. You can see
all the posters and stuff in there. I did those.
Yeah, we helped them open it up. We had the Haitians in there fucking making the bars and shit. Fucking Big Tom's mom fucking loves me. Okay, she works at the door.
She's rad. I love her.
She's fucking and she likes muscular men. And every time I show up, I gotta go up there and do a fucking muscle dance and shit. And she's going, oh, don't let. And then she's like, don't let your old lady see. Don't you let your old lady see. And you be standing right beside. She's gonna get jealous. So no, she's not gonna be jealous. I'm rubbing and shit. Fucking shit.
Big Tom's mom is so cool.
Tom's mom, 70-something years old. You know.
She works the door.
Yeah.
Every time we go to Mannequins, she's sitting right outside the door, like collecting.
I'm gonna show him Big Tom.
It's a good place. It's like I honestly, he really made. Like I said, I knew he was going to be successful. I knew it. We met him and his wife at iBar. God, forever ago.
Oh man, a long time ago.
And they were bringing their kid, like they had, their kids that were like grown, and they would bring them to the club. And we'd come and dance to 80s New Wave. It was a whole thing. And he, for a long time, he's like, man, I want to open my own place. It's like, you guys need to be involved. And it's like, he wanted to do it for so long. And then when he finally did it, I was like, I think that he's really going to be successful at it. But he is like fucking blowing the shit out of the water.
Yeah, there's Mannequins. There's the club.
I mean,
along that back wall, Jenny did all that shit.
Yeah, you go in there sometimes, and the place is fucking packed. It's packed.
All right.
It's the only place like that in downtown Sanford. There's really no other.
That's
place.
Big Tom.
Yeah.
He's big. He's like 6'2". And he saw me getting huge, and he's like going, man, I got to fucking... So then all of a sudden, he's trying to lift. He's competing with me.
That's a good picture.
That's a good picture.
Because you can actually see his face.
And that's out in front of Mannequins.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can see his...
Because, man, he'd been going to, like, fucking iBar forever. We've known him forever because he loves 80s music. He loves New Wave.
He's a huge Morrissey fan.
Yeah, he loves the Smiths. He loves all that shit. And him and his wife would just go there and dance, like, every single week they were there.
You're trying to get a picture of him.
And for a long time, he's like, I want to open my own club. I want to open my... So, like, he'd been wanting to do that for years and years. So he finally did it. And that's that's so awesome. And it's like, and
he's making a shit ton of money.
I mean, it's doing really well. Because like I said, there's no place, downtown Sanford is actually, it's tiny, but it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool place.
That's it on Goth night, actually.
Yes, they do like Goth night on Friday night.
Yeah.
So tonight. They call it Black Fridays, or they used to.
Yeah.
I don't know what they call it nowadays.
Trying to see if we can get...
But, yeah, and they do kind of they do other stuff too. They have a drag night. They have karaoke. I think they do karaoke on Wednesday night. I think drag night is Thursday. I can't remember what the other nights are. They have like other things that they do. Well, we've been on the karaoke night before. I haven't been on the drag night, but it's like I've done the posters for that too. But that seems fun.
There's a bunch of friends of ours.
Oh yeah, there's Angel.
William in the back. Angel. I forgot what's his name. That black guy's name in the front. What's his name again? He's fucking been around for a fucking long time.
That's Lee.
Lee. That's right, Lee.
He's the one.
Lee is hilarious.
Lee Perennis.
Lee Perennis. That's right.
He had been going to iBar. I met him like so long ago. The funny thing about Lee is that he always came to Ibar. He always looked like fucking sharp as shit. He always had like a suit.
Suits and shit.
He always had like a suit and everything like that. But he would drink so much, like he'd have so many shots.
Yeah, you could barely
that he kept losing his car.
Yeah.
And that was like the
he
joke.
Didn't know where his car was.
The joke was that he would always lose his car, like at the end of the night, and then like the next, he'd have to take like an Uber home or a cab or something, and then like the next day he would have to like call around and be like, "Where's my car?"
Yeah.
So he would like lose his car or his shoes.
Yeah, he lost his shoes. That's when it really got me with the shoes.
But he lost his car like more than once.
Yeah.
And it's like, it was so funny. He was just like, so it became like a thing. Like he would leave like at the end of the night. So, do you know where your car is? Do you have your shoes on? Okay. Yeah. It's like everyone's.
I'm gonna show on the show mannequins their Facebook, so they can know where it is.
All right, I gotta run and pee. So where'd Feeky go?
Okay, right here. All right, on Facebook, it's this: the Mannequin Lounge. That's the club we're talking about. Look, I don't know if Jenny made this. Jenny may have made that. I don't know. But that's the... Hold on. Gotta back up. That's that dude that was married the doll. That's a club flyer. Okay. Try to find you some other... more stuff from Mannequin. Sometimes he's got videos up there of girls dancing on the poles. Oh, here's a video. Yeah, it's a fun club. So if you're ever in Orlando, in the Orlando area, just come up north a little bit by about 10-15 miles right off of I-4 and go to Sanford and check out Mannequin.
Get out of Captain Kirk's chair.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just fucking with you.
Yeah.
I'm more Spock than Captain Kirk, but I still got my own chair. Did you find like good pictures of this?
Yeah, and video.
I had totally forgotten.
Oh, I promised him pictures of the girls on the pole.
Girls on the pole.
Yeah.
Yeah, they put in a stripper pole.
They got a stripper pole there.
Wait, do we know them?
No.
No, I was gonna say.
It's just some fetish thing. That was Tom right there. So that's it.
Yeah, I can't tell who that is. But
You know who that is?
No. I can't really see all that good.
Okay.
We're gonna do. They're having a whole thing, Memorial Day weekend, which is when, like the end of this month. Friday night, Dimitri is spinning on the patio. Obviously, Paul Vane is spinning inside because he always does. Then Saturday, they're kind of having a thing, and then Sunday, Dimitri is spinning at Barbarella. So we're probably gonna have to go to that. God, I mean, it's like going so broke on all this stuff, but still. Who likes to dance more, Tom or Jenny? Me. I don't think there's any kind of like, you like to dance, but
Depends on the song.
well, for me it depends on the song too. Although I will say that once I get real drunk, I'll just be like, fuck it, whatever. I don't care what it is.
Murder Hornets are talking about what's up with the fucking Canon and the OCP shirts, dude. I know.
I have them made. I do.
They're made with. Send them out. Look. Send them out. What day is it today?
Friday.
Next week, send the order out to
The print shop.
print
and then
shop.
You'll go,
I'll pick them up tomorrow.
Okay.
If you can send them out tomorrow, I'll pick them up tomorrow. When will they be?
They don't usually take that long. Usually an hour or two.
An hour or so. I'll pick them up. I'll get on a bike and I'll fucking take my backpack. I'll fucking ride down there. And
I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if there's a closer print shop, but I'll maybe just send them
the
back.
old one.
I'll just send them back to the old one.
Send them back to the old one.
That's by
I'll
the
ride up
Walmart.
there on my bike and have a
not
bike
that
ride. I'll
far.
go pick it up. I'll bring them back here and then I'll start making the screens. Because
Okay.
I need new shirts.
Yeah, because like
Then
I
I'll
said,
send-
the fucking
Okay.
all the designs are done. I just
Okay.
haven't sent them out
Alright.
for because we have to send them to the print shop to get the
Yeah.
what do you call them, the shit on like the clear
Yeah.
plastic, so we can shoot the screens.
Now, Gramthars, I went to high school with him. Like I said, he's an ex-cop friend of mine. Says, just for your information, Thomas had the exact same persona when he was 17.
I believe it.
A testament to his core personality that never changed. Yeah, they was born that way, bro. It's genetics. It had to be.
I mean, I'm not really any different than when I was a
Genetics,
teenager. I
yeah.
don't think.
I was just like this forever.
Some things have changed, but not really.
Yeah.
Not really. I
That's
think
true,
I'm pretty
Graham.
much. I kind of feel like most people,
Yeah.
you pretty much got your like core persona by the time you're in your teens or 20s, and I don't think it changes much after that. I'm not saying it can't, but I don't really think I'm all that different than I was when I was younger. You know, I was pretty I don't know. I kind of feel like I got a pretty strong like sense of myself when I was a kid, and I didn't really deviate that far from it. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I'm a fucking, you know, I'm like 11, 12 years old. I'm like, well, I'm a fucking weirdo that likes horror and is a big atheist. And I was like, I don't know. It was a lot of stuff I decided on when I was like younger that people thought I would outgrow, and I never did. Like the fact that I never wanted kids. My mom kept saying, oh, you'll change your mind when you get older. I never did. So, you know, I kind of feel like most people's core personality is established. But yeah, when we're going back to like who likes to dance more, I don't know. The thing is, once I get started, and I'm pretty picky about songs, but the drunker I get, the less discerning I get, but I'm still kind of discerning. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. Sometimes Tom will be like, he kind of like will dance, but then he'll like get worn out. Where it's like me, I'll just kind of like, I'll dance for like hours and hours. Like I'll dance for like fucking songs and songs and songs and like not stop. And I'll just like I'll just get really, really into it. I'll just go off into another dimension. That's my thing. And I feel like he doesn't really do that. But he's a good dancer though. He's got like rhythm. But we always kind of laugh. I don't mean to like cast aspersions on people, but when we were at Mannequins last Saturday, and remember, we talked about it. When did we talk about it? I think we talked about it on like last Sunday's show. We went to Mannequins on Saturday night. Now Friday night is more their like goth industrial night. Saturday nights is more kind of like a wild card situation where it's like they start out with like 80s new wave. They play a lot of stuff like that. Like we went last Saturday, and like early in the evening they played like Sisters of Mercy. They played The Fall. They played like some shit like that. But then like as the night went on, they started playing like kind of shit like, what did they start playing that started to annoy me? I don't remember what it was, but they started going like more 90s, and they started going like pop punk, and they started doing like shit like that, and they started like playing hip hop, and they started playing stuff like that, and I was just kind of like, man, whatever. But I kind of feel like, I don't know. So I don't know. I got into that, but I don't know. I don't even remember where I was going with that. Where was I going with that? I don't know. I don't know. Gramthar says, I would wear the fuck out of a Tyrell Corporation shirt. How do I get one?
Well, once I go down and pick up the fucking thing, I got.
Well, we have the Tyrell Corporation shirt. We have a screen for that.
Yeah, I have that.
So all you got to do is like
Send a super chat.
Yeah.
Or if you can contact me, we have a personal connection on Facebook, on Messenger. Send me what size you want. Okay.
Yeah, because sometimes I might need to like order some blank shirts because I don't know. We have some shirts, but I don't know like what size.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen it. It's a round disc and it says Tyrell Corporation, more human than human, fucking genetic replicants. It's good. I've worn it on the show. I got a bunch of different shirts we can put it on. Hit me up on Messenger, and I'll give you Jenny's fucking PayPal and send her the money, and I'll send you the shirt.
And we need like your home address.
Need your home address,
or a PO box or
Right,
whatever,
yeah.
so we can like.
It's gonna be about $20.
Yeah, like we just need to know like what size.
Right.
So in case I need to order one, we do have some blank shirts in stock.
Yeah.
but I haven't looked for a while, so I don't know. Like,
we don't know what sizes.
I don't know what sizes I got in there. I usually like order like a couple $100 worth of blank shirts every now and then.
If you guys haven't never seen the More Human Than Human shirt, I'll bring one out. Okay, just to show it to you.
Yeah, you got one.
Because I got a bunch of them. I wear them all the time.
Gramthars.
These shirts are actually I make them for myself. Jenny made this one. This is our friend's fucking channel.
I made this. We made this one too.
We make all our own shit.
We made this one too. I mean, I have a Zazzle store too, which like different designs on it, but the ones that we do that are just kind of like white on black, we do those. It's a pain in the ass, but I don't mind. It's a lot cheaper than Zazzle is. You know. I wish I could remember what I was talking about before, but I can't. I can't. Somebody said Sergeant Ed has 64. I don't know what that means. Okay, yeah, there's
This is the More Human Than Human shirt.
Yeah, that's it. And it's got the little
13
o'clock logo on the back.
And on the back, 13 o'clock.
It's got like that.
So it has 2 images. It's a good shirt. I wear that to the club. Looks great.
Yeah, people seem to like that. Making my hair all nasty. All right. Gramthars says, so cool. I wish I had time to like do more shirts. It's like I have the ones I have ready. I have an MTV, like an old school MTV one. If you want to do that, I have that. I have a Canon one that I made, so it's like it's really crisp and.
Oh, hey, Trey sends $10. Thank you very much, Trey.
Oh, you're.
He says congratulations on 300 episodes of the main show. Guys.
Oh,
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for the super chat. We're trying to make money here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I know. I can't believe we've done like 300 episodes.
Yeah. Grandpa says, "Oh, so cool." Yeah. No, that's a great shirt. That's a great shirt.
Tammy says,
"You'll be more human than human with that bitch right there. A genetic replicant from the Tyrell Corporation."
I told you, man. If I could like pop my consciousness into like a fucking body, I would totally do that.
Body.
Actually, you know, what'd be super cool is if you had like a whole bunch of different bodies like hanging in your closet, like outfits.
You take them, and
you could just like pop your consciousness into anyone you wanted.
Probably happen eventually.
What do I want to look like today? Yeah, I'm down. Mm-hmm. I'm totally down for that. Okay.
Or you just live in the metaverse. Anybody you want.
Yeah, that's cool too. That's cool too. I know some people are weirded out by that, but I'm just like, what are you talking about? That's an awesome idea.
Well, when you start getting too old and your body sucks, it would be a good option.
Yeah, maybe young people, I don't know. Maybe younger people would be like, what? I like this body. It's like,
well, it might be a good idea to where you have young people live a normal life and then old people live in the metaverse.
Oh.
And then they live forever in the metaverse. That way you have kind of
I'm all about it.
You kind of have like the same life cycle as butterflies and shit, where they're pupae and little larvae. And then they become a butterfly in the fucking cyber space, you know, be like that.
Ooh,
you live in life, you know what I mean, as you go. So it's not like you're not living a life or ending your life too soon.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, that's, you know, you wouldn't do it all the time. It's just kind of like fucking. Tammy says, I have several of your shirts and can attest they are comfy and hold up to washing. Yeah. I mean, I try to get good shit for that stuff. I get my stuff from Jiffy Shirts, in case anybody's interested.
Tammy says, I have several of your shirts.
I just said that.
Oh, okay.
I just said it.
I didn't hear you say it.
Well, you need to listen. Okay. Murder Hornet says, I can't wear the shirt with the Reaper on it to Mexico. Looks just like Santa Muerte.
Yeah.
Smugglers pray to that. I'll get searched.
Yeah, right.
Trey says, oh, this is a good idea, actually. Y'all should do a knockoff of the Night of the Living Dead shirt with the little girl on it, but with Jenny.
Little girl?
Oh, yeah.
There was the little girl? Oh,
the little daughter with the spade.
Oh, okay,
that's a good idea. I'm gonna write that down. That's actually a great idea. Because we had the kind of idea to do, like, horror-themed shirts that were, like, takeoffs on...
Trey says he has 3 of our shirts now, and they've held up very well. Yeah, we cook the shit out of them to make sure that image stays on there. And we source good quality shirts.
Like I said, I do try to get the good shit from.
Yeah,
Jiffy
although I
Shots.
must say that this tank top that we got from Walmart with the little straight lines on it, I like it better than the shirt that we got from our service. And because of the sizing. The sizing on those is a little bigger than it claims to be.
Well, the thing about Jiffy shirts is that they have so many options.
Small is more like medium with Jiffy shirt, if you ask me. Because we got mediums and they're a little too big for me.
That's not. Well, yeah, you really got to watch, and it depends on the shirt too. It depends on like what it's made of.
Right.
Because, like I said, I'll get stuff from like Jiffy shirts. Like they'll have like one that's sort of like a bargain option, which is like a little bit thinner or something like that. But then like you get ones that are 100% cotton.
Right.
You get ones that are so they have like a zillion different things.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's like hard to pick, and sometimes they're out of stuff, and I have to like get another brand and like
But Graham, I'll hit me up or remind me on Messenger. And I'll hook you up some good shirt action. Show you where to pay. That way YouTube doesn't fucking steal all that money. Super chats, they get some of that money.
Not a lot. It's
not a lot, but
fine.
we'll go around that.
Murder Hornet also says, I still want the BTK. I get sexual problems. We should do. Okay, I'm gonna do.
You can come up with something like that looks good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just keep forgetting.
I want it to be kind of geometric and cool looking. Is there any way you can work that out? Where it's like symmetric?
Yeah.
Okay. Something that would look good in the club.
Fucking we'll put BTK.
BTK on that channel.
With his
Charles
stupid,
Rader.
With his stupid
I got
little
sexual problems.
Dennis Rader.
Dennis Rader, yeah.
Not Charles.
Yeah.
Where's his bobblehead? Is he back there? Is he back there?
He's back there. He doesn't have anything to say.
Are you sure?
Yeah, he doesn't have anything to say. I'm too drunk.
That's what it. That's
She's
when,
trying to get me to.
That's
fucking
when the
talk.
magic happens. Okay. That's when the magic happens.
All right.
Get Dennis.
All right.
Get Dennis. You know how everyone loves Dennis. Look at his little head bobbling around.
You know how it is. Jenny's always trying to call me out here because she loves me. Tom, he's the thing of the past. Once I get out of prison, me and Jenny, we're going to run off. Look at him. How's he going to compete with this? Isn't that right, Jenny?
Sure.
You know I love you.
You're so small.
You know I love
Look at Dennis.
Fucking Dennis.
Yeah.
Can I talk about? I love the fact that Dennis Rader, he's still alive, right?
Dennis Rader is a fucking guest on the show.
That would be fucking hilarious if he was like watching this shit. Do they let them watch YouTube in prison?
Probably not.
Probably not.
But they
that would
might
be-
have let him to have.
That would be really funny if like he watched this and we were making fun of him.
They might allow him to have cell phones now. Who knows?
That would like be really funny to me.
Yeah.
Because that's what
Tom, yeah.
that's what he's like.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm sorry, Dennis, but no, I'm not sorry.
I'd love to fucking. He needs to get a Wi-Fi hotspot. We'll look him up. We'll have him on as a guest for the show.
Oh God, that's not gonna go well. I can tell you that much right now. I don't have any patience.
How
for
sweet
that.
talking. I said,
I don't have
Dennis,
any
man, how you
patience.
doing, bro? You're looking good, man. You're looking real good. How's it hanging? That kind of shit.
Are you very upset?
Get your old lady yet?
Are you very
Fucking that kind of-
upset?
You're up in the prison. You get your old lady yet?
You've been in prison a long time. But
Yeah.
Are you upset?
Yeah. Let me send you some cigarettes. Send you some cigarettes. You can get you a girlfriend. Yeah. He's walking down the.
I mean, he's institutionalized at this point.
Oh yeah. He's crazy.
The dumbass thing about BTK, well, I guess
Yeah.
about like serial killers in general of that
Yeah.
ilk, is that if he would have just shut the fuck up and
Yeah.
not sent shit to the media, he
Yeah.
probably would have like got away with it.
He didn't. He didn't want to get away with it.
He just wanted it. Yeah, he wanted attention, and he wanted like
he didn't want to
yeah.
get away with it. He wanted to get credit for
Yeah.
what he did.
And he was mad that people were just kind of like, "Oh, this is unsolved," and people were like, not forgetting about it
never did
necessarily,
catch me,
but
I never got credit for what I did.
which is crazy. That's crazy.
Well, you have to see it from his point of view. which means you're going to have to flip it around a little bit. He thought what he did was like a fucking work of art, that shit was awesome. And he wanted, because these are projects and
he wanted
missions.
recognition.
He wanted
for the
recognition.
shit.
It's like, yeah.
He didn't like that people
I know you guys,
just like forgetting
Yeah, he's
about
like,
it.
I know you guys don't like it, and you're taught that it's bad, but, you know, a man's got to do what he's got to do. You know, a man like me has to do. I have the X Factor. Yeah. And it's time for, isn't that what he called it, the X Factor? X Factor. Factor X, right?
Yeah. And he called it the Minotaur.
The Minotaur, yeah.
He had a weird thing about like a Minotaur.
I'm a Minotaur, and I have to fucking cash in on Minotaur coins. That's what he was doing. But he's
he's one of those motherfuckers.
He's living in another universe.
Well, yeah, he's like a more extreme version of these motherfuckers. Like you guys just can't handle my realness.
Yeah,
he's one of those kind of motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Except he actually killed people.
Yeah.
And I can't stand those kind of people. Like I said, it's
well, they got upset, you know.
That's what I mean.
They got upset. Yeah.
And I've said this on the show like lots of times. Like, look, obviously serial killers are the worst. They're like the scum of the earth.
Yeah.
But it's bad enough that they do what they do. But then some of them, like BTK, like Dennis, have to like compound the error by being all like arrogant and smug about it. It's like, oh my God, I just can't. I can't. I hate smug. Like I said, it's if you're a serial killer and then you're smug on top of it, fuck that. That makes me really, really angry. That just makes me want to like fucking punch you right in the fucking taint.
Yeah.
Or like stick my hand up your ass and just pull all your fucking organs out. It's just, it makes me so mad. That makes me so mad. I'm like, where the fuck do you get off? Please stop it. Please stop it.
That's his superpower.
I guess.
Yeah.
It's not a superpower.
In
it's
their
not.
mind, it's a superpower.
Well, yeah, I know. In their mind. In their delusional
Yeah.
fucking minds.
Superpower.
Cesspy says he really shouldn't have sent that floppy disk, dumbass. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And the most hilarious thing, the thing that makes me laugh so much about that, was that he actually asked the cops, can you guys trace me from a floppy disk? And the cops were like, no, of course not.
And then he was mad when they said, you
And
lied.
then he was mad.
That's not honest.
When they did. He's like, you lied to me. He's like, well, duh.
This goes back
retard.
This goes back to what I was saying before. We are a multiplicity of personalities all happening in the subconscious. Okay. There is Skinny Puppy called it right. They said mind the perpetual intercourse. That's the name of one of their albums, because that's what your mind is, a fucking constant conversation between all these different fucking factions.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah, it's a constant conversation inside your fucking subconscious between all these other personalities. And they come to an agreement and allow your consciousness to have an opinion. This isn't me saying it. That's just well documented. Your subconscious mind, which is a group of consciousnesses in your subconscious, come to a conclusion and then send that conclusion to you, making you think it was your idea. It's some heavy shit. The mind is a lot more complicated than people think. Okay? Well, in Dennis Rader and all these serial killers, there's more than one personality in the subconscious, and they're all talking to each other. Some of them don't agree with this shit. Okay? Of what the main consciousness is doing. So if you ask me, what happened is that there was a consensus inside the unconscious that you got to go to jail for what you fucking did, okay? Because you got to pay for this shit. So they made the conscious raider believe that it was his idea to start toying with the police again.
Yeah.
That's what. So he could get caught.
Well, a lot of times I do kind of feel like serial killers have this weird. I don't know if I'd necessarily call it a fail-safe, because it would have been nice if they'd done that before they killed anybody, but. A lot of them do seem like as it goes on, they do kind of want to get caught.
Right.
Because they'll start like doing fucked up shit where it's just kind of like, you know what I mean. Or start taunting the police.
The other
or whatever.
facets of their personality saying that no, this is not sustainable, and you're killing people and too many people and for the wrong reasons, and that you're the only one that's benefiting from this, and it's a sexual motive, and you're not benefiting. And this is unjust, so you got to be punished for this. So it starts fucking sending all this to them. And eventually, the main consciousness of the waking consciousness is driven to its own capture through that system. And I think, what's his name, fucking would agree with me. The guy who what was that guy's name?
Well, narrow it down.
The guy who fucking wrote the thing about the cosmic unconscious and the unconsciousness, fucking not Sigmund Freud.
Carl Jung.
Carl Jung. It's Jungian. It's Jungian stuff happening inside the subconscious. And the more intense your waking life is, the more excitement in it, the more drama, the more action that's in it, the stronger all those personalities become. That's in my personality.
The thing that kills me about Dennis is that, look, everybody has different shit going on in their head. Like, everybody has that. But just like everything else, it's a spectrum. It's just like a matter of degree. Like, I have different voices inside my head, like, you should do this, and you should do this, blah, blah, blah. Everybody has that. But I kind of feel like the thing that fucked me up the most, reading that, because remember Sophie sent me that book about BTK, like Conversations with the Killer, or whatever it's called. The thing that killed me the most about him was the compartmentalization. Yeah. Because, like, as much as I have different voices in my head, like, pulling me this way or that way, I still feel, like, cohesive in the sense that I still feel like one person. I still feel like, hey, this is, like, fucked up. Like, there's still, like, bleed over. He didn't really seem to have that because he had a wife who he apparently would never kill. He had a daughter, and yet he was still completely comfortable treating other women as though they were objects. Yeah. But he didn't really seem to see that his wife and his daughter were the same as the other victim. He didn't really seem to see that. And that, like, kind of blew my mind a little bit. Like, I get it because, like I said, everybody has that. But the compartmentalization was just, like, fucking extreme.
I think other facets in him saw that, though.
I guess.
That's why
fucked up.
That's why they compelled him to get caught. All that stuff about fucking re-emerging and talking to the police and, you can't really catch me. Bullshit. He was not dumb. He was trying to get caught at a certain level in his mind. He knew.
I mean, he might not have consciously known that, but subconsciously I think, yeah. And I think, like, that happens a lot, especially these serial killers that kind of, like, keep taunting the police. Yeah. If some serial killers just shut up and went into hiding,
they'd not have gotten caught.
They'd probably never have caught them. Right. But the fact that they still had to keep, like, interacting with the police, they still needed that validation and that attention. Yeah. That's what got them caught. But I think in a lot of ways, that's, like you said, they're subconscious. I don't think they're aware of it on a conscious level, but subconsciously they wanted to get caught.
They want to get caught at a sub.
Because obviously, why would they fucking do that?
And they want the recognition for what they did, the validation. And then they somehow want the forgiveness, like they're coming clean. And then they want the punishment. They want all that. But it's all the subconscious. I think that they believe that being caught and punished for it erases it.
I think they do, actually. They might believe that.
Right.
They might believe that. Right. That it's, like, been expurgated.
It's like now they're innocent again. I think that's what's happening.
Which is crazy. I mean... Yeah. One thing that I find really interesting and enlightening about reading about serial killers is that I find them interesting because, to me, their thought processes, while intellectually I understand how they got from A to B, are very alien. So in a way that kind of, like, makes me feel better. Like, when I was reading the BTK book, I was like, look, I understand how he got from this point to that point. Like, I understand how that happened, but it's still fucking insane. Like, it's still, like, I would never have made that connection, like, in my own mind. So I was like, good, that probably means that I'm not a serial killer then. Do you know what I mean? It's just kind of like, the dude's thought processes are just fucking incomprehensible. Well, I don't want to say incomprehensible, because I comprehend it. I know how he got from one point to another, but I don't, like, I intellectually understand it, but I don't relate. I can't relate, because I don't think like that. So it seems crazy to me. Cespi said he makes the ugliest woman, too. Those Polaroid photos are not good. Yeah. I mean, if Dennis Rader was happy with those and kept him and, like, thought he looked pretty, I'm not judging. Well, I'll judge him because he's a serial killer. But, you know, maybe we can all think that we look pretty, because he apparently, like, thought he looked good. And that was, like, he was probably jerking off to that shit. Sorry. But he probably was. Which is fucked up. He's listening to me right now, little Dennis back there. Well, the thing about it is that we have an H.H. Holmes also. We have a bobblehead of H.H. Holmes, who is back there somewhere. But we don't bring him out as much because Tom has never... He can't channel H.H. Holmes.
No, he's long gone.
We don't really know what his voice sounded like.
You're right.
So...
No, I can't channel him.
We never brought him out as much, talking about his murder hotel.
He's too far gone in the past. He's too long gone.
I don't know. I kind of feel like if you, like, communed with him long enough, you could, like, maybe get into, like, a little bit of it.
I have a feeling that he talked a bit like this.
He probably
something
did,
like that.
to
Yeah,
be
yeah.
honest with you.
Something uptight, like he's very intelligent. It was something like that, I think. If you inhale this gas, you'll be fine. It will get rid of any of your problems. Here, climb inside the box.
Then I'll just put you down this chute, and then I'll, like, boil all your flesh off and sell your skeleton to medical science. That's how that works.
Murder Hornet's trying to get me to do Tran. I'm not going to do Tran, man. Tran makes you evil, you know. Too many bad side effects. If I did anything new that I haven't done before, I'd be like Echopose. Echopose would be that fucking horse testosterone. Wouldn't mind doing that. But I don't know if I can get it, though. Oh, go ahead.
Murder Hornet also says, jail is nice, sleep all day.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think I could sleep all day.
Yeah.
Even if I was in jail.
How long have we been streaming?
3 hours and 12 minutes.
It's just about time you realize that. I said 3 hours is normally the cutoff. Unless you guys have anything important you want us to talk about, if you don't guys have any good suggestions, you don't drop them in the chat there. Me and Jenny will check off here in a bit. 3 hours is a long time, and the storm's coming anyway. Aren't you hungry?
A little bit.
Okay. I got all kinds of stuff down there I can
What
make.
you got?
Man, well, you don't like fucking... I had a bunch of rice that I was going to throw out. I turned it into rice pudding. It's great. Indian rice pudding.
I'm not a fan
Okay.
of rice pudding.
I have hamburgers. I got some thawed hamburger already.
That sounds good.
Yeah? You want a hamburger? Okay.
Yeah, hamburger, tomatoes, lots of pickles.
Yeah, I got fucking tomatoes, pickles, got everything. I got buns, new buns. It's the small buns, though, from my Publix.
That's okay.
Okay.
I mean, you know.
All right.
As long as there's buns and lots of pickles and tomatoes on it, I'm good.
Yeah. I guess everything is okay. Everything's ready. All right, we'll see them. We'll see them later.
Yeah.
Okay, shut it down, Jim.
Sergeant Deadhead said, good, y'all. I gotta go.
Yeah.
Gotta go. More beer. Please be
Yeah.
here when I get back.
We're going to be here when you get back? No, we're not going to be here when you get back.
I mean, you know, it's been a while. I would like to hang out, but I am, like, kind of hungry.
Hungry. We've been on for 3 hours.
Yeah, it'll be all right. We'll be back on Sunday. Murder Hornet's trying to ask another question.
What do you say?
How prepared are the North Korean army?
Okay. The North Korean army is fucking a pretty good anti-invasion army. What makes them so good is that they're intensely undermined. There's tunnels everywhere. They have commando units that can spray out poison gas. They all got all kinds of weird shit. The thing is, though, is that the North Koreans are only good in the first couple of days. After 2 or 3 days, they're going to start petering out. And they are totally focused just on the Korean peninsula. They can't project outside that, and it's more like one huge suicide attack. Could they actually invade the South? Yeah, they could. They have little submarines and everything. Could they get on the southern land and do a lot of damage? Yeah, they could. Could they actually take over the South and claim it for their own? No, they couldn't. They couldn't. The only thing about them is that they can threaten to do a lot of damage to the South. That's all they, and that's how they survive. Their whole thing is imagine it's a guy in a box. He can't get out, but he's got a pistol. All right? And then he's got a little hole in the side of the fucking box, and he says, if you fuck with me, I'm going to shoot her. And that's all he does. That's all he does. He can't really come out of the box. He can't really fucking get that woman. He can't really do anything. That's North Korea for you. But I don't disrespect.
That's a good analogy.
That's what they do. But I don't disrespect North Korea. They have unlimited endurance and willpower. They're tough little motherfuckers at the top. Okay? But it totally fucked up. Totalitarian society. It's like something out of 1984. It's worse. Worse than the Soviet Union. Worse than fucking Mustache Man and the Germans of the Bent Cross. Much worse than that. They're bad. Very, very bad. Totally inhuman to their own people. But I respect their strength. And they just... It's like a dude that you shoved into a box decades ago and he still won't surrender. That's what you're dealing with. They're nuts. They're nuts. There's nothing like that.
Well, that probably helps being that stubborn.
Yeah. There's nothing like
it's
that.
Just being completely nuts.
They're nuts. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I see.
Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it's starting to storm outside. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna go and get something to eat. We'll be back on Sunday talking about some movie. We don't know what yet, but it'll be something entertaining, I'm sure. So thanks, everybody, for dropping by, hanging out with us this Friday night. Thanks for all your super chats. And we will see you guys on Sunday evening. Bye.